The Ball-Tard Road Scholar, Bearded Devil, 21 December 2020.
And many words mean the same thing. That's why they call them similes. So now that we're done with that little bit of education,
You ball-tard buffoon. You couldn't educate the bionic woman on hearing if you drug her around in back of a dump truck through a nitroglycerin plant. Words with a similar meaning are called synonyms, not similes. A simile is a figure of speech involving the comparison of one thing with another thing of a different kind. You're as dumb as a bag of hammers. That's a simile, you dumbass cracker.
Raising your elevation doesn't change how far you can see.
What the hell did you just say?
Raising your elevation doesn't change how far you can see. Raising your elevation doesn't change how far you can see.
And we're off. Back in the saddle again. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there are PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. Let's shoot it on over to Discord, see if the beautiful Betty Van Velsen is there. Beautiful Betty Van Velsen.
Yay, I'm here.
Yay!
Mm-hmm. Shall we get the food talk over?
The food talk.
Yeah, usually we do that and then we sort of go into the planet Earth.
It just started. We didn't get into the food talk yet.
Okay. Well, talking about food, I have to get my pizza in the oven. You know,
Okay.
Pizza day.
Tuna
Yeah.
pizza day?
No, chicken.
You got chicken on pizza?
Yeah, polo, they call it.
Polo. Okay, fair enough. I mean, it's acutely strange, but all right.
I know.
That's all right. Go put her in the oven.
In a while, I need to warm the oven up, and so you know that when I'm gone, I might be doing that.
But you don't need an oven here. Just open up our front door and just put the pizza outside. You're good to go.
Outside?
Yeah, that's how hot it is here.
Oh, you can break it on your car, huh?
Yeah, you don't need a car. Just put it outside.
Wow. We already got the super chat.
Where's Bugger?
Now, super chat.
Super chat. Super Booger. Super Mustache. Superintendent. Hi, Rumpus. Sorry
Roger.
about that.
No, you're good. He's over here just talking to himself.
That's what most of ball busters do anyway.
Roger Ledwell, he said, "You remember how to start the show?" LOL.
Yeah, Roger, you're right too, because I was sitting here not thinking about it, and I said,
Were you answering like stuttering? into
No, I
this?
wasn't stuttering. I just hadn't thought about it. And then when I hit get ready to play, I said,
Hey, I heard something from one of the panel members here that you are sort of like pissed off about something today.
I got pissed off at a good chunk of the ballbusters today, but I settled down a little bit.
Oh, so you want a new outro or intro?
Is Adam in here?
Don't
Yeah.
don't you bleeding start, Van Velsen.
I'm thinking I'm starting a fight right here.
I didn't look inside Discord to know, and I'm wondering how the hell do you know that? And it hit me that Evening is in here.
I didn't open my mouth.
No, he's not the culprit. No.
Who's the
I
culprit?
wasn't indicted in your anger, so I don't need to open my mouth.
Yeah. Who told Betty already? That rhymed.
Oh yeah. Now it's the the game is on.
Yeah, the game's
I
on.
don't
How
know.
do you? Hold on, Adam. How do you know?
How do I know? I
Yeah.
have a Sextants.
That's a bunch of baloney. Somebody told you.
Bunch of baloney. Did you get your
I,
lunch
I
already?
cannot speak. I take the fifth.
Oh, there's Neil. No wonder. Yeah, Peter probably told you that because there's no way you'd know that.
So I asked Neil, did you have your breakfast yet? And they're still out on that.
Yes,
so-
I did have my breakfast. That makes it doubly problematic.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Then you know it's our fault.
So what happened exactly? I mean, I want to know the game.
We don't air our dirty laundry in public.
No, but you did it on the other channel then.
Did it on what other? No, that was it was.
The rest of the channel.
No. It wasn't live.
Oh, so we can do this when you're not live. I get it.
No,
Okay.
we're not hiding anything. It's just the back and forth with
No, we
ballbusters.
can get you to be pissed off only after the fact.
I was
after
pissed
being-
off into the fact.
What was the fact?
We don't. It's something minor. It's kind of childish, on their part.
Oh, okay. I thought your part.
No.
Okay.
No,
Because
but
that would have been good.
it's all good. It keeps it healthy. Since we got an echo chamber over there.
And a cultish like
Yeah.
environment.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that. Was that you?
Me?
Yeah,
Ooh,
little was that little old you? Because I've been hearing cult the past couple days. I think it was you
Yeah?
who said that yesterday.
Huh. Okay. Can't remember.
We should inform everyone because they don't know what the hell we're talking about. It's probably not a good idea to talk about
I
that.
don't know what a cult is because they're in one.
Something to that effect. You made a backhanded slight towards somebody, just off the cuff, in the background while somebody else was talking. I caught it.
Yep. Well, usually cults have like certain phrases, a mascot, flat Earth.
A mascot. Flat Earth's not a
we need-
mascot, you numpty.
We need a flag. That's what we need.
You need a flat Earth flag.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll have Adam get on that, and we'll get it by 2035.
Right after the time bandits, I think.
We got one already. It's the Black Swan shooting the globe,
Yeah.
like
yeah.
on your
I need-
website.
Yeah, I need to put it on a flag.
What, like that? Oh, you guys can't see it unless you're watching YouTube. That's funny
See-
you mentioned that because I just pulled this up earlier, and I said, you know what? I'm going to go with this. That's really ironic you would say that. Is that Intensive Care Bear?
It's me. Don't he
Yeah.
have a knife in his beak? Like, what the hell?
What the-
He's got a knife in his beak or something crazy, shooting
Yes.
the globe with
yes, he does, by the way.
Let's
If
go.
you're
Speaking
wa-
of flags, I was very disappointed in the NHL. I thought the last manly sport has celebrated pride. I never
yeah.
thought that would happen in the NHL.
Yeah, I didn't see it. Although I do
Dude.
like I do like playoff hockey. And ironically, I did make a hockey reference just earlier. How ironic. I was going to hip check Betty into the boards.
Oh, what, did you put a Glober on skates?
They couldn't spell it. How'd you like Bearded Devil right at the beginning? The words have different meanings. They're called similes. Now that we're done with your education. Oh, my God. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so the topic is for today. Not food. Not food. What's the topic for today, Betty?
How to piss off QE.
Nah, they didn't collude. They were just acting naturally.
That's 3 insults back to back. I don't even know how to respond.
What's Adam got to say before we get into the topic of the day? What you got, Adam?
With regards to the attempted indictment of QE.
The attempted indictment? I'm unaware of the indictment. What's the charges?
I don't know. I think it's just a difference of appreciation of styles. Because what happened, Betty, was I got a little frustrated. I had to sigh and go, can we just get back onto the topic, which would be my style. After repeated 2 or 3 requests to just me and Nathan just to focus on one particular issue. A lot of people that I had to kind of point out that you don't even know what we're talking about. Still felt it was relevant to contribute. Yeah. My style differs somewhat to QE's. That's what's being discussed when pointing out that continued level of need to talk but not even really know what's going off.
See, but that was my license, I thought, to speak because I didn't know what was going on. Full on me.
It wasn't just you. But that's all. See, I got over it because I can't carry that around with me, right? I got to get rid of it quick. It took my wife like 15 years to figure this out. I don't think she still figured it out. So once I relieve myself of that burden, then I'm usually good. I usually collect myself relatively quickly.
After the ripping out of the lungs, you mean?
Yes.
Ah. So first some blood has to be drawn, and then you can be okay with it.
Well,
Huh?
some blood has to be spilled for the remission of sins, Betty.
What makes you God or something? Or some atonement.
Thomas Jefferson had the same quote.
Yeah, we can move past that. I mean, it was just a train wreck. I think
How long? I mean, how long is there between that explosion or the pissed offness till now?
It wasn't that long. It was only, I think,
An hour.
An hour? Yep.
Yeah, about an hour.
Oh, okay.
I was done with it in about 10 minutes because Neil messaged me. He said, "Oh, come on, come back," because I rage quit.
Ah.
Remember,
so you went away, but I mean, you were sort of pulling out of all like Skype channels
No. Number one, remember you used to say that
threatening to
rage.
delete your channel and that sort of
Shut
stuff.
up. Remember when you used to say back in the day, the rage quit? That used to crack me the hell up. You just made
Because
that
I
up.
thought it was that rage quit, quick quit. It's a quick quit.
It was rage quit quick, wasn't it?
Yeah, quit quick.
Yes, that's what it was. She said that one
Yeah.
day. It was a long time ago. I said, it cracked me up. I said, what the hell is that? And she never stopped saying it.
It wasn't really a rage quit, Betty. It was more like a dramatic exit. From my point of view.
Who holds the title? Anthony, right?
What?
Yeah, a bit like what a tone is. You've been given a lesson, yeah, and Daddy's walking out the door now. Now think on it. But he wasn't really like rage quit. It was just like.
But if he could have slammed the door, would it be loud or?
It'd been loud.
But a dramatic effect, and then he was off to get his breakfast because the show was starting in an hour.
Did it sound like the woodshed closing behind you?
No, it would have been a slam, Betty.
It was the front door and the screen door.
Two. Yeah. Which fell apart after he left.
That just irritated me. Everyone gets irritated every now and again.
Yeah, but you a little bit more than often.
But I gave them, in fairness, I explained the situation. I said it 3 times.
Oh, wow. And now they have to really pay attention.
3 times, and then they offended. There was 3 offenses. The first offense, then I told them again. Second offense, then I told them again. The third one, I lost my cookies.
Yep.
That came in rapid succession. There was no delay in the offenses.
It triggered full glycemic grumpiness.
Yep.
It's so sad that we don't have any
Stop
records. Stop
rumpusing bugger, Betty.
I know. I needed to get that out.
You're still rumpusing them. Bugger.
Sorry.
You say it? Super chat?
Super chat.
Super mustache. Super booger. Super Bowl.
Superficial.
Roger Ledwell said, "Now I need therapy." LOL.
Now you
We
need
all
therapy.
need
Yeah.
therapy.
Yeah. Don't we all? Especially Betty.
Yeah, because it's a train wreck being with you.
Yeah, I knew you had to search for it though. You see,
No,
you
I didn't. I had that on the shelf already.
stuttering and stumbling fool.
No way. I'm not.
You were
She
delaying.
capping.
What's that?
Yeah, she's lying.
Yeah, she is.
No, I think it's been on the shelf. It's collected dust.
Yeah, I had to dust it off to use it finally.
Yeah, Betty.
Yeah.
Quick save.
You don't even know intensive care, Bear, do you, Betty?
Intensive care.
that his name's Creation Bear. I have you know how I am.
Yeah, and then nobody knows what you're talking about in 10 years from now or something.
Yeah.
People will look for your channel and never find it.
That's okay. I can live with it.
Damn.
So why Creation Bear? What's the deal with Creation Bear?
Damn, Betty. You don't remember me? No
Vaguely.
memory. Oh, okay. I'll take that.
Not that you're not that you're unimportant or anything there.
I mean, yeah, I'm nobody, all right?
Nah, you're somebody. You're intensive care Bear.
Intensive care Bear.
Betty, you know the soundboard, man. The soundboard guy.
Sure.
Give me some props,
Sure.
Betty.
I understand, but I wanted to know why you have the name Creation Bear.
Creation Bear? Oh, okay. Well, it's not like the flat Earth was big banged into existence. Pause.
Mhm.
So cakes don't just bake themselves, right?
Yep. Uh-huh.
There you go.
In other words, get your own dirt, Betty.
Yes, but that doesn't explain the bear part.
Oh, shout out to Owen Benjamin.
Again?
Owen Benjamin and the Bears. I used to hang out with them Bears before I hang out with you flat Earthers. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought you maybe had some Russian roots or something.
Oh,
No,
shit.
just a non-gay appreciation of another man
Again?
in your own name.
Again?
Yeah, Adam, you needed to be
I didn't catch
creative with
that.
your name.
Again?
Well, see, here's the thing. I had my own name.
Not
and,
you.
Oh, all right.
Again, Adam?
Adam sent some gay shit.
It's just a non-gay appreciation of another man in your own name.
Pause.
Back.
But
lots of people do it. I don't know. Is it genuinely? Lots of people do it. Is it a club? Is it a badge of honor sort of thing? I see a lot. Orwin used to have this Orwinian bear. What? It obviously means something. It's not just I like Owen Benjamin.
oh, this
I like
is easy. Adam, this is easy. In a world of bots, it's easy to identify yourself as someone not a bot, with some sort of alias, and so that's where that started. Bear, 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 bear. That's identifying as, okay, I'm not one of these NPCs. I'm someone who aligns with the people, if you will. But yeah.
And you see, now that's confusing because you're all called bear. It's like these people that dye their hair pink and go, I'm an individual. They've
Oh,
all got hair dyed pink.
well, see, at least you know what they think when they roll up, right? Oh, he's got pink hair. I
Yeah.
know exactly what he thinks. It's the same type of thing. If you see a bear,
Exactly.
you're like,
So
oh,
what-
okay, he's sort of based at least. Probably thinks the Earth is flat.
Oh, that's what I was asking. There's a association with, if you're going to stick that on your own name, and lots of people do, what's the association for? What are you saying? You're not just saying I'm a big ass Canadian, are you?
No. You know what's
Or
really funny about
Russian.
this? I just would roam on the internet with my actual name, and I was in Arwen's chat for the Flat Earth Early Bird, and he almost banned me. He's like, "Who is this celebrity impersonator?" I share a name with someone fairly large, and he's like, "Nah, dude, you need to change that and get an actual like nickname or something." So that's where Creation Bear was born. But my actual name, some of you guys know, but you
I
don't.
know.
Yeah.
Big name, and like Rothschild or like.
They're turning the friggin' frogs gay. So
the
that's
two
me.
Frogs.
That's all.
gay.
That's all I'm gonna give you. All right, Betty. That's all you get.
Huh, it's sort of like a riddle, isn't it?
Yep.
So we
You
got
gave her a good hit.
Go ahead, Platzi, and then I'll get to the vetting process with intensive care bear.
Oh shit.
I was saying that he gave her a good hint.
I did.
Go ahead. Do you get it, Betty?
No, he needs to say
Nope.
it again. Something with the frog.
Yeah. Well, they have this hooky sand and
Sandy Hook.
wars that are about information.
Alex Jones.
Who's that?
Alex Jones.
Yeah, that makes sense if it enraged Darwin.
He is like, I'm gonna ban this guy. Like, please don't ban me.
Technically, is that not taking the Lord's name in vain?
Wait, what do you mean?
From an Darwinian perspective,
Oh.
locking up as Alex Jones.
Damn.
It'd be like claiming you were William Shatner or something as well. But upsetting.
You
All
guys
right.
can thank Arwen.
All right, this is going nowhere. Let's start the
Save
vetting.
us, Kiwi.
Let's start the vetting process. Creation bear, intensive care bear. Do you know for sure that the Earth is flat?
And without a doubt.
Yeah. 100%.
Boy, that was easy.
1000%.
Yeah, you're vetted.
But we have hills and valleys, don't we?
Oh,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah,
That's
my
a guy.
carpet has bumps on it too, but I don't live on a convex floor.
Good one.
Bars. Where are those non-flat earthers at these days anyway?
Are you sure it's not a bigger ball, like a million times bigger?
Of course. There's no hills of water, Neil. Can't be a bigger ball.
How much
Oh,
slope could a
difficult
zero
question,
slope
isn't it?
slope if a zero slope could slope dope?
What the?
Yeah, say it again, Flatsy.
How much slope could a zero slope slope if a zero slope could slope dope?
Should be a song.
Well, some people are not up to our level.
Ooh.
Level. Oh, that's a word too. Huh?
We got into it last night with level with a baller.
Ah,
Really?
Oh
What was
no,
the
it
other
was lunatic. Sorry.
lunatic.
So same thing. Same thing.
Same thing. I knew somebody was going to say that. Then he extrapolated our feelings and things that we have in the background. He extrapolated all into that and how we were the bad guys. He was a good guy.
Lieu.
It happens
Yeah.
that way sometimes. People are, I don't know, people just get weird, man.
For real.
Huh. Really?
Facts.
I think the weirdest thing he said was like, "Well, whatever you guys say, I'm just gonna do the opposite." It's like, why would you do that, Lieu? Duh.
Oh, that's right. He also mentioned that we were in a cult. Didn't he?
Yeah.
He said the cult script.
Uh,
That's what he said. Sorry about that, Betty. You did say cult, and then he said it yesterday, so there's been a whole bunch of cult talk lately. Yeah.
he's a 99%er.
Yeah, I asked him the same question, Betty. I said, do you know for sure, without a doubt, shout out to Betty, that the earth is flat? And he said, and in all honesty, 99.99999% sure
Hell no.
it's flat. So I said, then you're a flat earth believer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he
claim
was. But he extrapolated that into some type of deeper meaning that everyone had a cult script, and if they didn't say that the earth was flat, yes, because I had passed out the script to everyone, that they were going to be in big trouble. That's the way it went.
And he got into big trouble with you because
He
said, "No,
definitely
Facts.
he that's facts. He definitely, once I heard that, then he definitely received some medieval ass whoopings.
Yeah, so basically you proved him right.
So basically, thanks, Betty.
It's almost like we're roasting you now instead of laughing.
Roasting, that's fine. Like bringing the pigeons to the cat.
Yeah, roasting
Yep.
because you like poultry, right? Especially the chickens and their wings.
I do. And speaking of which, there are some wings in our refrigerator out there in our garage. That's about 90,000 degrees.
90,000 degrees.
It's really hot in that garage, boy.
Oh, no, well, at least that refrigerator is like running.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it barely.
Gotta go catch it.
I was
Bear-
gonna say that creation bear.
So when are they going to be cooked or
That-
baked or?
That's a
grilled
good
or-
question. They if the refrigerator goes out, it's going to be cooked today.
You don't even put them on the grill anymore.
No, just leave them in the garage and hook them up.
Oh yeah, just take them out of the fridge. They'll cook in the garage.
Yeah.
You're good.
No, you don't have to take them out of the fridge. The fridge just shits the bed or pisses the bed. It's all over.
It's sort of like a multi-appliance, right? It just turns into an oven when.
Yes,
Anyway.
exactly. It's adapting.
It's
Evolving.
evolving.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
and speaking of which, folks, Thursday, what date is that? 26th, 27th? Be
Seventh.
on the lookout for a treatment. We have a special Evotard that's going to get treated.
He's going to be fed to your whoop.
Treatment just takes me out.
Say again. Hold on. One at a time.
Is
Adam.
that Ballbusters this Saturday?
And
That's
thank
it.
you, Adam. And BALLBUSTERS this Saturday. Currently, it's going to be Professor Cream of Wheat versus the one of the numbskull true earthers. We're going to be focusing. Say again.
What is cream of wheat?
Cream of Wheat. Professor Dave. His name's Dave Farina. So I named him a while back. Cream of Wheat.
Wheat.
Oh man.
So we're going to be focusing on him mainly because we don't really care about the true earther, knuckle dragon, horse shit, double speaking lion, sore rat. But the funny part is Professor Dave, which the double speaking lion, sore rat, true earther couldn't give a rebuttal to, and should have ended in utter complete laughter the entire quote unquote debate. Would have ended it right there, but nope, can't end it. Now we got to get into dynamic and kinematic equivalence. The
What?
clown. So, but we're going to be focusing on cream of wheat a little bit more this time, I think. We already know the true earthers' stance. We already heard one of their captains. that he doesn't know for sure that the Earth's flat. It could be a bigger ball, right, Dave? Weiss, Shyster, right? Have you gone rogue on your true Earthers? We're gonna find out.
You're gonna have
Is
to
that
delete that
false
app.
dichotomy, Dave?
Which
Yes,
one?
Roger.
Which false dichotomy? There's a lot of Daves out here. You gotta specify the specific one.
David Weiss, false dichotomy, Dave. It could be flat or it could be a really big ball.
What?
And
He
if my
said that?
aunt had testicles, she could be my uncle.
Before we get into this, because it
But
is
most
important.
people-
Superchat.
Hey, Booger! I heard Booger back there.
Yep.
Yep.
Roger Ledwell said, absolutely positively 100% for sure it might be.
Yes. Oh boy. Okay, Betty or Adam, you were saying something?
Slightly more important. A katsu chicken curry, Bay. That's what I'm getting in 28 minutes.
Oh, brother.
What?
Pair that with a
Yeah,
nice
I'm
Pinot
doing stuff
Grigio.
now.
Go ahead, say it again, Adam.
Katsu chicken curry. So like crispy breaded chicken and then a homemade katsu curry sauce. And hopefully just plain white rice.
Nice.
What I've known, or not what I've known, what I've experienced with these Englanders is they all mention curry. They love curry for some reason. What's up with that?
Yeah, but they have been to India and they found it there, I think.
So there's a connection between India and England?
Yeah.
Curry's British national dish, mate. A curry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
you came by that by going to India.
Yes, they brought the spices over.
I just made that connection, Neil. Thank you.
And also the Prime Minister, isn't he from India too?
Was
Originally?
it Captain
Sunak?
Jack?
Sunak.
I thought it was
The
Captain Jack.
connection is the British Empire.
Connections, tasty food. Yeah.
Shouldn't
We had lots of countries we owned in the empire. Don't eat all their cuisine. Yeah? We ruled, you know.
Yeah,
what I
you
mean?
never eat stew. You never. Oh, I can't wait to go out for a stew. That just doesn't happen.
Let's out for a cockroach on a stick. No.
Cockroach.
Right.
Okay. Well, but India, I don't know. They are still their own country, but the other ones you totally took over, right?
I mean, importantly, in this point though, this isn't an Indian curry. I think this is a Japanese curry sauce.
Japanese? What's Japanese about it?
Katsu curry sauce.
Katsu, Japanese.
Okay. Is it very hot then? Is it
Yeah.
like
You
burning your
know what
tongue
it
out?
tastes like? If you ever had like standard English chip shop curry sauce, it tastes a bit like that, but obviously a bit nicer. It's very mild, very just curry leaf, lots of onion, and I don't even know if there's chili in it at all.
Do you guys have a lot? Do you guys have a lot of Indian like places to go eat around you? Like more than enough to choose from?
Oh, yeah.
So it's like Mexican restaurants here.
Oh shit.
I think that we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, probably more than 6 restaurants here. Definitely 6, but Mexican restaurants here in town that are all ones that people like to go to. Just they'll change them out.
In
Like,
Alabama.
oh, we'll go here one. Yeah.
Alabama?
Yeah, it's
Thought y'all was
crazy.
eating barbecue.
Jalapeno.
Tons of Mexican restaurants in Alabama.
Yes,
Tons.
way more than barbecue places.
Hell, I prefer beans on toast personally.
Beans on toast. Very cowboyish. Beans.
No, that's
All right.
British.
All right. So, anything else on this topic, Adam?
Please
Yeah,
save
I'm
us,
gonna
Louis.
put my pizza in the oven soon.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please save us.
5
Hey,
minutes.
Sleeping
Hold on.
Warriors in
Okay.
the chat.
Sleeping Warrior, where you been, Anthony?
What the?
We missed you, man.
Chicken tikka masala is meant to be out the national dish now, he says. Fish and chips are so 1990s.
You see, that was the last wave of immigrants that affected our cuisine. So, Indian immigration, top dish now, chicken tikka masala. Agree, Tony. Evening, bruv. And then the last load of immigrants, the Italians, that's where we get our fish and chip shop. And the Greeks a bit as well. But the idea to deep fry food, very novel in the early 1920s to the British people. Unheard of, you might say.
It doesn't have anything on monster trucks.
No, because that is a purely American. Hell yeah. American.
American,
invention.
not A.
American.
Yeah, you have to leave out the A silent. It's American.
American.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
No swearing.
And to think that the Yankees, that's Dutch, basically.
Yep.
You guys know that, right?
The
Jan
Yankees.
Kees. Yeah, Jan, Kees.
Yes.
Those are two main Dutch names, and you put these guys together, and it's Yankees. Yankees.
Yeah. That's amazing, Betty.
Bit of Dutch history. Nostalgia.
Thought you had to give it up to the English.
Hey, XB Black Eye said this is really good. The title is wrong. Should be QE Live. Do you know for sure what's for dinner?
Without a doubt. Don't
That's
forget without a doubt.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah. XB Black Eyes comes up with some good ones, man. Yeah, he's pretty sharp. Yeah, I didn't force this one, though, XB Black Ice. It was just foisted upon me.
So, if there is any content to this show besides food,
Yes, there
what
are.
is the content to this show?
Yeah, well, we're going to go on. Do you know for sure, without a doubt, shout out to Betty, that the Earth is flat? So we were going to go off on that for a few minutes.
No treatment on a video, no nothing.
No, I wasn't. No, I don't have any.
Question.
Oh, God.
Rumpused.
Yep. What, Adam? What do you want?
You asked her the question, and she did a Dave Weiss. She side-skirted, didn't answer it. See, answer the question.
I never put the question to her. That's
I liked it.
That's funny. I
take it back.
didn't do it that time either. It was rhetorical. So, Betty, do you know for sure, without a doubt, shout out to Betty, that the Earth is flat?
Can you repeat that question?
Go ahead, put your pizza in the oven.
I'm excused from the cult.
Yeah,
leader.
you're from the cult. I'll tell you what.
Well,
What do you
it's
mean by
better
flat?
to be called a cult leader than the queen of flat Earth. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Empress.
You had First
it was,
Lady.
The Empress.
Did Brian say Empress?
Yes, that's
That's
that
you.
was the title.
Sorry, I'll tell you what. We're remaking the BALLBUSTERS intro.
Don't worry, Brian. You will be in there for the next decade or so.
Oh boy! Here's Theo Megawar. Bugger!
Super chat.
Super chat, superintendent, Super Bowl, super salad.
He wanted to click the like for AI's message first. So AI sent, is you is or is you ain't a not globe unless bigger earther.
He came in last night because I was explaining something. I was explaining what is questions to somebody on 24/7, and I used the example. I said, "Is you is or is you ain't a flat earther?" and Theo AI ran with it. Too funny.
That's a good. That's a point of our station, I think, this evening, isn't it? You've been able to say "is you is" or "is you in" a flat earther, and thinking that means something. That was what Dave highlighted, that suddenly it doesn't actually mean it. It doesn't mean you know without a doubt, that it's that it's flat. Apparently that's not a necessity to adopt the title Flat Earther. That's why I took objection to in the video we've reviewed on Saturday and Nathan done before. And I don't know, was it Creation Bear was aghast to it? Some of the things, I assume you've not seen it. You need to see it, and if you haven't, like Witsit, yeah, you might try and mitigate for it until you've seen it.
See what?
I think he's already seen it. I think he's already seen it, Adam.
Yeah, I thought it was him that said he said what. Therefore, assuming that he hadn't seen it. So
Nah,
sorry.
I think he's already seen it. I
But
would assume he's seen it because I gave it to him yesterday. Is that true, Intensive Care Bear?
I don't know what. Sorry, Adam. What were you talking about, my bro?
Yeah, we're talking about my bra. We're talking about the Jesse Lee Peterson interview of David Shyster Weiss.
Oh no, I haven't seen the full interview, bro. I need to watch that, don't I?
That's what I was implying, that you haven't seen it all, because when we said a particular line from it, you were aghast, as you will be when you see the whole thing.
All right.
And it's that and it's this strange thing that Flat Earth Dave is the guy that's out there pimping Flat Earth on the big channels, because as Jesse said, he was recommended from a trusted source. And the message that he's giving, and given such a direct question, was to subvert the question 20 times, get to the point of arguing like a baller about trying to redefine what flat is, but fundamentally not answering it. Hence why QE's asking us these questions, and that's worrying. Yeah, that we're now at the stage. Yeah, at that stage where the top guy, in terms of popularity and knownness to the masses, is out there portraying that message. I mean, respectfully, not portraying that message, making an arse of himself in front of a very honest man that wasn't out aggressively, just wanted the answer to the question. Yeah. Do you know without a doubt that the earth is flat?
Amen.
Yeah, but Adam, the follow-up question or the statement that I heard would have been, what about mountains?
Oh, Lord.
That's why he didn't say yes.
What about, that wasn't a follow-up question. That question never arose.
Wait, you
But
think
that's
Jesse
what
would
the
have asked
person
that,
said.
Neil? I don't think that Jesse would have asked that ridiculous stuff.
Yeah.
Jesse.
Person said, the text was read out that was in conversation with Mr. Weiss, that I did not ask him that because he would have went to mountains.
Who cares? Tony
Direct
Wickham,
quote from
shout
Dave.
out to Tony. He said Dodger Dave, he is on now. He must be live now.
The point I want
I
to
should
just
go after
reiterate, Neil, the point I want to reiterate isn't that why it could have been what it could. Point of consternation with us is why Flat Earth Dave couldn't answer that question, even though it was put to him 20 times. There'll be lots of mitigations for things. What was embarrassing that evening was that Flat Earth Dave couldn't answer whether or not he knew without a doubt that the Earth was flat. He demonstrated a refusal to answer that question. Yeah, to the point of ridicule and sarcasm from a very polite host.
Yeah.
The only reason that Jesse was like that was because the guy just demonstrated he was just he was behaving like a baller, and you've gotten them in a corner as if it was a trick question. And our point of consternation is it's not a trick question. Look, why would you answer like that, Dave?
So is
Yeah,
he a
I
shill?
understand that, but it makes no sense even still.
Well,
That's a reason why? It's
well,
pretty pathetic.
he stated it. Jesse Lee Peterson states, and I quote, "You're the expert here on flat Earth, right? And you came highly recommended, and you can't even answer the question if you know for sure, without a doubt," shout out to Betty, "that the Earth is flat. How can you be a flat earther and you don't know what flat is?" David Shyster's response, "I'm really a true earther."
No.
That's pretty good. Did you memorize that, Huey?
No,
That's pretty freaking
I
good.
wrote out the transcript the other day.
Oh,
What is
because
true
that's
earth?
exactly it.
You know Christ now, Mr. Jew. That's one.
Wait. What is true earth, bro?
And I think that it's safe to say that QE is nothing if not thorough.
Thank you. So
True
I say,
Earth is ether.
so I say again, Jesse Lee Peterson, you're the expert here on flat Earth, right? And you came highly recommended, and you can't even answer the question if you know for sure without a doubt that the Earth is flat.
Oh,
How
Lord.
can you be a flat earther and you don't know what flat is? David Weiss's answer. I'm really a true earther. Jesse Lee
What?
Peterson. So you're not a true earther. So you're a true earther, not a flat earthy? That's it.
Wow.
Oh, that's right. He drew the flat Earth thing to really mock him.
I don't even know what true earth is.
Go ask him.
I think
Ether.
they use that name because it brings up less controversy, whatever.
True earth. Why would you
So
just say the earth?
when they, I think that was some. Didn't you say that, Adam, in one of the back and forth that you had with someone? That was one of the arguments why they used the word true earther or the words true earther.
Because the word flat earth would be inflammatory, even though that's the thing that's getting the attention. There's this pretense that the justification for the use of the term true earther is only be so that it's not inflammatory. It isn't, as demonstrated by Dave. And ask the question, do you know without a doubt, shout out to Bay, that the earth is flat? He dodges the question and introduces himself as a true earther, making that distinction. It wasn't presented by the rigid interviewer because he's only asking one question. Dave's divulging information and making the distinction himself because of that question. And that's the issue.
I have another. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, Intensive Care Bear. I got another little gem that no one's caught on to. And I think the reason why is not, number one, people can't focus. They need an Adderall drip. And number two, something that was said, but it was sort of over talked, so I'll forgive it. But I caught it. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Jesse Lee. Oh my God.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to highlight the fact that he said it's not flat because of hills and mountains. So that came out of his mouth. But go ahead.
Thank you. Another little gem, like I said, Jesse Lee Peterson. But you can't prove the earth is flat? David Shyster. Well, because I don't know all possibilities.
What?
Yep.
Who? And did someone pay him out or something? Like,
that one. That one. See, that turns. See, that changes the game a bit, doesn't it? Where have we heard that before? With proof.
Bev? Or
no?
No, you can't prove it. Science doesn't prove anything.
Oh, Vsauce.
Nope. Adam, I say this again. Adam, are you with us or are you eating your catatonic sauce?
10 minutes.
Well, most of us missed this. You know I wouldn't. I'm going to say this again. Jesse Lee Peterson. But you can't prove that the earth is flat? David Shyster. Well, because I don't know all the possibilities.
There were two people that have historically answered and take that position. One's Whitsitt and one's Jaren, and that would agree with that. Whitsitt's contradictory. I've chatted with him last night, and he kind of makes that position, but also tries to answer in the affirmative that no, yes, I know it is, but then would then make an apologetic of mitigation for that, which is They're contradictory.
Yeah, and
There's
those were the right answers, by the way. Just to let you know. Way to pay attention, Adam.
Hold on, I gave the
I knew
answer.
the right answer.
Yeah, but I got the gold star, so screw you all.
Super chat.
Wait a second. Booger's talking.
Super chat.
Super chat, super booger, super mustache.
Roger Ledwell sent, it's more like confused Earth.
Yeah.
Facts.
Facts. That's right. Yeah, good one.
There's something else though that was missed.
Oh, really?
I don't know
Like
if they
what?
call it missed.
What?
Is that when Jesse Lee Peterson, I wanted to say this a few minutes ago, but there was too much talk going on. When Jesse Lee Peterson said to him, "You're the flat earth expert, aren't you?" What does Dave do? Does he agree?
Yes.
He agrees that he's the flat earth expert.
Yes, I've seen him agree. Yes. I noticed that. Yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about that because I don't remember what he actually did. But how can he agree to that?
I don't know. You
and then
caught
call
him.
himself a true earther. How will you do that?
Yeah, you don't. That's
How is
another
he an expert
contradiction.
in something he can't even support? Go on.
You caught another contradiction. That's correct. I noticed that part. Yep. As soon as you said it, I remembered exactly, and I seen it. He looked down a little bit with that shit-eating grin and said yes. Yep, I remember it. Yep, you got him. You got him again. Awesome. All right. Any other?
Just on what Brian said. Dave is the most well-known exponent of flat Earth. What shocked our sensibilities is to find out that he's not actually a flat earther.
Dave Shyster?
It would appear so, wouldn't it?
Yeah, facts.
With that admission.
Yep. What is knowing all possibilities anyway? What is that? Like, is there a requirement to be some sort of omniscient being to know the Earth is flat? I don't think so.
He's leaving room for it to be a bigger ball.
What the hell?
Apparently.
Okay, so maybe if we got that quote, because that this is the point. There's no lack of ambiguity here within this thing. So we'll get to that question, and Dave, in his own words, will clarify it, and he'll give you the dichotomy that's in his head. Yeah? So you're in no doubt what Dave knows, thinks, and believes, because he'll present the options that he thinks it could be when asked the question. So, do you know, without a doubt, shout out to Bay, that the Earth is flat?
That cracks me up. Sorry.
He said, "I don't know everything."
No. That's not what he said.
I don't know all possibilities.
Well, let's get it. Let's carry it back here. JLP, that's Jesse Lee Peterson. But you can't prove that the Earth is flat. David Shyster. Well, because I don't know all possibilities.
Flat?
Does anyone? Is that a requirement?
That's what you asked before. You're going to have to ask them. Let's take a look here and let's pull this down. Let's go to setup. So you've all seen this before.
The point I was making, that later on, Dave gives the dichotomy. It's either flat or. And the simple fact there's an or there.
Yep.
And he isn't answering it yet, but it's what he presents as the or. That one of the or is a really big ball. A ball, but 1,000,000 times bigger. I mean, I'm not holding him to the million. That's just an arbitrary thing. Just a lot bigger is what he's saying. He's not ruled that possibility out of his head. The knowledge that he holds.
Do you think he's just offering that as an option to the audience?
Why? Does he not know it's flat?
Yeah, he does seem kind of confused, not gonna lie.
Oh, there's no confusion. It's a scam. Here, if you look on the YouTube live stream, I got the actual scammers. You remember when they charged Nathan with being a scammer?
Yeah.
See, that's the incoherent Hillary Clinton Academy of charging others with what you do, right? So they get the attention off them. This is like a second grade parlor trick. They get the attention off what they're doing with their little scam nonsense, and they train wreck themselves with, well, Nathan said you could prove things in science. What a feeble morons. So, and then the true scammers come out, right? They got a little flack, right? They have you chase the chaff because in their minds, flat earthers are morons. So they put that little tidbit, little piece of that steak with cheese on it with a little catatonic sauce. They put that out there so everyone would chase that. Just relax who's trying to talk. They put that out there so all the incoherent flat earthers, we're going to chew that up. And then they perform the scam. See, here's the scammers. You got Boy Zero the Sky Grifter here, Numpty Dipshit, along with Hanoi Jaren. And then you got Dave, right? They're true earthers. These are the scammers. Are you ready? This is the scam, or one example of their scams. And guess what? Right in the title, the true earth. Now, Mount Meru 2, right? Meaning that was a Mount Meru 1. And you can bet your bottom dollar there's going to be a Mount Meru 3, right? You see, by now, see, they got their idiot ether truths behind a paywall. And it depends on how much you pay, on how many truths you get. Now, what I'm thinking here is the $50 paywall is just your regular average numpty dipshit ether truth. Now, when you go to the 125, that's when you get the double speak. You know, they tell you it's one thing and they tell you another thing here. And then they just rampantly go along all the placards and make up shit. So you got the scammers. Follow this? Scammers are up here, and the scam is right here. Now, I want a fucking defense attorney to come in here and defend this horse shit. See if that dog's gonna hunt. I've just proven it right here. There it is. Get it? Good. Now, whoever was trying to interrupt me, good.
I was just laughing at their dumbasses.
No. There's a scam and scammers here, folks.
You specified the sauce. That was really funny.
The catatonic sauce.
Too funny.
Yeah. So what are you
I
guys
didn't
gonna
think of
do,
that
man? I know, Betty. But it's pretty cut and dry, I think. I just want an attorney from the True Earth to come defend this shit in front of everyone. The whole thing, the whole 9 yards, the first, feeble attempt at shifting the blame of scamming, right? With the little, you can't prove stuff with science, where they train wreck themselves, that whole fiasco, right? I want the whole thing. Everything's, we're going to court. I'm the prosecutor.
All right.
All rise.
And the judge and the executioner.
That's exactly right.
So were the tickets to Mount Meru 1 like private or?
Don't know. I don't know anything about Mount Meru 1. Friggin' clowns. So you see what they did is they took flat Earth and they tied it to a tree, right? And then they proceeded to adulterate it with their Tootsie Roll dicks. That's exactly what's happening. I've told you this years ago. Hey, everyone, y'all remember the Tootsie Roll thing? Yeah? Years ago. How's that looking now?
Brian tried to tell you 2 weeks before that.
Before that, yeah, that's where I got it from. This is where you're at, flat earthers. Welcome to Shangri-La.
Brian did flatsy. Nobody listened to him. Thank you.
Yeah, I got your message, Betty. I knew that too. I figured you weren't looking. Shout out to Betty.
Shout out, Betty.
Betty. Oh, she went to get her darn pizza.
Perfect. In the kitchen.
Got that food curry.
Take curry.
But I agree.
All right, let's get the answer to this question if you're unsure. So we'll just drop that for now. We'll get the answer to that question for all you guys out there. There's 99.999% sure, right?
That's crazy.
You want me to give you that extra little push over the fence?
Yep.
Super chat.
Super chat, super chat, super mustache, super book, super salad, super something.
Roger Lidwell sent, at what magic point does the laws of physics stop working?
The size of the globe.
Yes, sir.
That's actually a good question. I ask that all the time.
Damn, I just started the slideshow too, but now I'm going to interrupt it. Well, you'll have that. So, is you ain't a flat earther? You must know with absolute certainty that the Earth's flat. It's real easy. Yep. All you have to do is go to my website. There it is right here. GlobeTerminator.com. You go there, you go to your happy place all by yourself. No obstructions, no one in your ear. Just go there by yourself. And you see right down here. Oh, you can't see that because I don't got it sharing. What the hell is going on out here? I need a secretary. So what you do is, see, it's a good thing I took a look over to the right. See, what you do here is you get rid of extra tabs. Right, you hit the X on that. All right, so you go here to GlobeTerminator.com. You go to this website, right? And then right over here on the left-hand side, you can highlight different options. You know, proofs of the creator, stuff like that, stuffsies, and flat Earth proofs. And then there's another sub-menu. You go there, you can just hit the whole thing, right? If you're unsure, and they're all listed for you here. Let's try this one. The ball killer sextant with elevation angles. Let's try it. Let's roll with this right here. See, angle of elevation, the upwards angle from the horizontal to the line of sight from the observer to some point of interest. Does everyone get that? From Merriam-Webster. Oh, that was from Math is Fun. From Merriam-Webster, the angle formed by the line of sight and the horizontal plane. We're getting a lot of horizontal planes and horizontals in here. Line of sight and the horizontal plane for an object above the horizontal. How many horizontals can we have? You get a horizontal. You get a horizontal. You get one. Right? 2 times in one sentence. Measurement of the elevation angle. From varsitytutors.com. The term angle of elevation denotes the angle from, here we go again, the horizontal upward to an object. So you're on the horizontal and you're measuring up to the object, right? That's the hypotenuse, by the way. An observer's line of sight should be above the horizontal. Again, horizontal twice in one sentence. From radartutorial.eu, elevation angle is the angle between the horizontal plane, oh goodness, and the line of sight measured in the vertical plane. So, I was thinking up there, seeing all those definitions. Well, what does a sextant measure? Well, elevation angles. From Solar Science, from NASA.gov, a sextant is a tool for measuring the altitude angle, that is, elevation angle, of a star above the horizon. There we go again with the horizon and horizontal. Wonder what that means. From Britannica.com, in the hands of a practiced observer, the modern sextant can be used to measure elevation angles with an accuracy of 10 seconds of arc. That is close enough to determine a ship's north-south position within a few hundred meters. That's interesting. From Princeton Astronomy, all the observer does now is to use a sextant to measure the angle of altitude. That's the elevation angle. H of the noon sun with respect to the horizon, and to record the exact time of this measurement. Conclusion: must have horizontal plane baselines. That's the adjacent. We're going to get there in a second. To obtain elevation angles using a sextant. There are no horizontal planes on a spinning monkey ball. Ergo, the Earth is not a spinning monkey ball. You see how I got there? See this right here? Angle of elevation from Q math. You see this? Huh? The horizontal plane and the line of sight measured from the horizontal plane. That's the hypotenuse. Horizontal plane is the adjacent. You see all these daggers going in here? That represents daggers into the spinning space monkeys. Bugger!
Yeah. Tony Whitcomb, he said, I think Dodgy Dave has had enough time to unevolve from flat Earth. Oh, sorry. That's not it. Sorry, Booger Eater. That's a little bit of a mouthful, unlike your boogers.
Jeez, I'm going to have to go back and reread that one. Thanks. So, you see the daggers, like I said. Those are daggers in the spinning space monkey. See this little itty-bitty line right here? Yeah, that's it. That does them in. So now you're 100% sure. Uh-oh. That's right. From Jacoby Harold, Professor of Astronomy, Columbia University, Navigation, Chapter 6, The Sextant, Cornell University Library, 1918. My God, page 61. The height of the sun or of any star in the sky is called its altitude. And so the altitude is always, see this? Always, very important, an angle, always an angle, to be measured in degrees or minutes. The point directly overhead is the zenith. The angle between the lines drawn to the horizon and the zenith, is 90 degrees, or a right angle. So, attention to all flat earthers. The official end of the ball-tard spinning space monkey religion is here. Follow these 3 easy steps. Number 1, are sextants used by mariners to successfully navigate using the relationship between the Earth's surface and celestial objects? Hit the placard? Yes. Number 2, are sextants used to obtain elevation angles from your position to celestial objects? Yeah. Number 3, can you obtain an elevation angle from a curved adjacent, that is a curved baseline, spherical surface? Nope. Welcome to Flat Earth. The end. It's all over, ball-tards. And what I especially like, it's all over with an itty-bitty right-angle triangle. You lose. You gotta love this, baby. That's a fact. Ball-tards and sextants are as compatible as Ike and Tina, Stalin and soybean futures, Pol Pot and the Dalai Lama, and achromatic rainbows are blushing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the age of the sextant. Now you know for sure that the Earth is measured flat. Any questions? I got 3 more in the hopper. Not that I need them.
Can load.
Do it.
Do it. Do it.
Lock and load.
Hit the next one. I don't think we got no questions over here.
Damn, everyone's quiet. Sleeping Warrior, welcome to Flat Earth. You betcha, sir. That's it. No one needs any more. I'm prepared to give you some more, but I don't see the need. Unless somebody could come in and show how you can acquire an elevation angle off a curved surface. That is, show a right angle triangle with a curved baseline. And then we're going to have to go and find a third grade geometry teacher and resuscitate them from tear-jerking belly laugher syndrome. See how easy that was?
Easy peasy.
Betty! Man, people just got quiet, man.
I'm saying, like, what's the typical globetard response that we formed our own curved adjacent or whatever? Like, what do they say?
Tangent.
I don't understand how they're doing that to use their pretend curved adjacent or whatever tangent to say that the actual ground below that is curved. How?
They're moving the angle they take on the tangent mathematically. They're moving the angle they place onto that to the center of their globe. But what they don't realize is in celestial navigation and astronomy, that angle is still a right angle triangle, and it's placed onto their equatorial plane at vernal equinox. And it's pre-assumed that vernal equinox, because mathematically their tilt is taken away, that the equatorial plane of the globe extends out into the celestial plane, making a much more huge, massive plane. And that they pre-assume that that is stationary and the celestials are moving. So what they don't realize is the ending of their process is a massive stationary plane with a moving, rotating sky.
Damn.
Well, how'd they get down to center of the earth to get on the equatorial plane? How'd they do that? So when you're on a boat, you say, wait a second, we got to dig down. We got to get to the equatorial plane. We got to go down. I don't know. What do they have? Those worms, from that movie?
Well, I said mathematically. They only do it mathematically.
Mathematically?
They're not doing it.
Yeah. So
what?
That's their claim. Like, their claim is all based around, it's all purely mathematical.
Okay, so when you're on a boat, what do? Navigator, Nathan, we're lost. What are we going to do? And he pulls out a calculator.
I didn't say it was workable. I just said that's what they do.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Nathan from the chat says they say nuh-uh. Yeah. Nuh-uh. Heard that.
Oh, they
before.
say nuh-uh? Yeah, probably.
And if they say tangent, then you say, where's the tangent mirror on the sextant? Number one. Number two, if they say tangent, I always get them to define it. Most can't even define it. It's a straight line that touches a sphere tard at a single point. Well, ain't that begging the question fallacy? Isn't that what you're attempting to prove?
Yes.
True.
There you go.
And another one. Where's the distanceometer on the horizon mirror?
The distanceometer.
What the?
So, is everyone for sure now, without a doubt, that the Earth is flat?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's measured flat. Navigated flat. Adam, you got the list. Is he eating his canatonic sauce?
The England match started in the European final or European Championships.
Gotcha.
So he has that on while he's listening.
Observably, measurably, demonstrably,
His is
Practically.
more high level intensive care. Bear.
All right. What I miss?
You want an itemized list?
Yeah, I think I got like a good 4 of them.
Navigated.
Say again.
Navigated
Navigated. There we go.
and built on flat.
Navigated, built on. What else?
Ooh.
Observed.
I
Observed.
said that one.
Yeah, definitely that one.
want the sentence?
Aviated.
Okay.
That's another one.
The Earth.
Here we go.
Oh shit.
The Earth is observed, measured, surveyed, built upon, aviated, mapped, and navigated flat. I'm open to additions or explanations.
It's exquisite.
Exquisite. Now, that's a $10,000 word. Betty, what do you think about exquisite? Can we add that to our $10,000 word list?
Well,
Betty.
I don't know.
Come on.
The top spot's never going away. It's acquiesce.
Yep.
Who said that?
And Morosovist.
A Morosovist. That's a moron philosopher, by the way, if you didn't know.
Of course.
Of course.
Do
I
we
thought I
want
heard a mouse in the house, so I was investigating.
You have a mouse? Yeah, but you got a cat.
Yeah, but he's looking at that closet where I think that I heard some like screeching or something.
The scrunching.
And he's out there with that, looking at that closet, and I'm thinking, why is he so like hypnotized usually when he's sitting there? So it might be something, I don't know.
Well, here I'll give you first step.
So how do you get rid of
So what you do? Yeah,
Surratt?
I was gonna give you the first step. It's coming. You ready?
Hmm?
When he's sitting outside that closet door, you all of a sudden walk over to it and turn the knob or the lever in case of in Europe. Hit that lever down and open up that door.
And then
Yeah.
ask him if the Earth is without a doubt and for sure flat.
You ask him that, and then you just go into the living room and let the cat conduct business.
It's kind of a lazy cat.
I don't know. He sees a mouse. It's over.
Hmm.
It's like the same way as when I see a Efer sash. I don't say anything. Any person wearing that Efer sash, I destroyed them.
How does that look exactly?
Efer sash?
Yeah.
It's some dumbass towel hanging off their belt loop.
Hmm. And you never have that?
No, because I'm not Efer believer.
Hmm.
That's right.
I need some evidence for that.
Yeah, there's no questions, there's no hellos, there's no cordial discussions, just destruction. That's it. We need anything else out there, people? So, from the top, flat earthers. Is you or is you ain't a flat earther? That, as simple as that. You got to ask yourself that question when you look in a mirror.
Why?
And then if you say yes, then I just gave you number one. This little itty bitty right angle triangle. That's all you need. The most prestigious scientist in the world. You could be up against them. And all you'd have to say is, elevation angle and describe an itty-bitty right triangle, and they're finished. Finished. Yeah?
With a triangle?
With one itty-bitty right angle triangle. Gotta love it.
Chat.
Yep.
Hit the
Mommy,
bugger!
Click like 2.
Roger Ledwell, he said, let's get this straight. You're trying to make a point.
Yeah,
Good one.
I like the dichotomy there. Good one on you, Roger. Who you hanging out with, Tony? Most people
We'll
might
wait
not.
for the new next super chat.
Most people don't know what that means. Tony Wickham, he always gives some riddles and stuffsies like that. Okay, do you need anything else? You want another proof? See? Did that do it for you?
Please, sir, may I have another?
Yes, sir, you may. Let's see. I got to stop the slideshow. Shout out to Betty. My mouse would work. I'm having big problems with this thing. I'm going to crush it.
Didn't I tell you that you should get a mouse with a wire?
You need a cat.
You need a cat to get the mouse? This sorry son of a... I just put a new battery in it.
I told you to get a mouse with a wire.
No, you didn't. You told me to get a
Yes, I
wireless one.
did. I told you. He said, no, I'm going to go with this one anyway. It's highly recommended by numpties. Globus.
All right. I like to use this one. Are you guys still seeing this on QE Live? You should be. Hopefully you are.
I see one of your albums there.
Well, just wait a second.
Jackson Brown.
Running on empty. Running on.
I knew.
You seeing it now? You better
No,
be.
I see a black screen.
That's nonsense.
Really, really, really black.
That's not. Let me check. You should be seeing it.
What exactly?
It's plane. Or planes. Airplanes. Flight.
No. I don't see anything.
Are you blind?
No, I'm seeing a black rectangle.
It's definitely on the watch stream, yeah. Definitely, I'm seeing it.
Well, there you go. He seems to be in an air traffic controller's tower where he is.
Now I see it.
Now you see it. There you go. So this one, see, this is one of my favorites because it's so simple. You figure most people have flown on an airplane before, right? You'd figure that. See, that's the incoherent shaft at the Baltards. That happened quick. All right, since the Earth is, as we're told, a sphere-tard of 25,000 miles in circumference, radius 3959 miles, then pilots traveling for 1 hour at a typical cruising speed of 500 miles an hour to simply maintain altitude would constantly have to adjust their altitude downwards, to compensate for their sphere-tard curvature, and descend on average 2,789 feet every minute. Shout out to Adam. Now, to negotiate this drop that we speak of, I really don't care. The plane can do barrel rolls, split S's, wing overs, tail slides, slow rolls, Cuban eights, falling leaps, the chandelier, or the hokey pokey. But it must descend. And the key point is, everyone on the plane will know it. Is this clear, Smurfers? That's the point of it. Everyone would know it. So, how many miles of vertical drop, that's geometric, must be negotiated over a distance of 500 miles on a ball with a circumference sphere-tard of 25,000 miles? Well, that's real simple. The answer's 31.7 miles. So how many feet are in 31.7 miles? Answer, 167,376 feet. So 167,376 feet of vertical drop must be negotiated over 500 miles on the Earth. So let's pull a real world example out of this. I'm traveling by commercial plane from the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to Atlanta, Georgia for the Super Bowl. Approximate distance is 500 miles. The typical cruising speed of an airplane, a commercial airliner, is 500 miles an hour. So we got 500 miles distance at 500 miles an hour. The travel time is shocking. It's 1 hour. So, question. How many feet of vertical drop per minute on average needs to be negotiated on my trip from Pittsburgh to Atlanta? Total feet vertical drop that we went over above, over 500 miles, is 167,376 feet from point A to point B. That must be negotiated on a spheretard. Travel time's 1 hour. So it's a simple calculation. 167,376 feet divided by 60 minutes. Answer: 2,789.6 feet of vertical drop per minute. Per minute. Average must be negotiated by the plane on my trip. Does this ever happen? No? Then the spheretard is a stone cold fairy tale. Do we need a second example? I don't think so. All I did was take it from 1,000 miles. The numbers just get bigger and it gets, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. How many miles of vertical drop geometric must be negotiated over a distance of 1,000 miles now? So we're increasing the distance. Yeah, does everyone get, you ballers get this? So when we increase the distance on your spheretard, there's more vertical drop. You remember that 8 inches per mile squared? You know, the squared function? Yeah, you don't know what squared means. I digress. How many miles of vertical drop geometric must be negotiated over a distance of 1,000 miles on a ball with a spheretard of 25,000 miles in circumference? Answer: 128.3 miles. How many feet are in 128.3 miles? 677,424 feet. So, 677,424 feet of vertical drop must be negotiated over 1,000 miles on Earth, on their spheretard. Real world, let's do another real world. I'm traveling by commercial plane from the world champion Pittsburgh Steelers to Dallas, Texas, America's team. Hey, approximate distance is 1,000 miles. Typical cruising speed, 500 miles an hour. This is where it gets tricky. 1,000 miles distance at 500 miles per hour equals a travel time of 2 hours. So, question, how many feet of vertical drop per minute on average needs to be negotiated on my trip to Dallas, Texas? Total feet, like I said above, vertical drop over 1,000 miles is 677,424 feet must be negotiated. It must be. Because that's the drop on your spheretard from that point A to point B. The travel time is 2 hours. It's a simple calculation again. 677,424 feet divided by 120 minutes. Answer, you see how the numbers get bigger? Now we got this is over a mile. 5,645 feet vertical drop. Like I said, over a mile per minute average must be negotiated on my plane trip. Does this ever happen? Has anyone flown in an airplane for 2 hours and dropped 5,645 feet every minute? No?
Negative. Planes fly level.
Modus Tollens. Let's do this officially. If P, then Q, not Q, therefore not P. If commercial planes travel at 500 miles an hour for 2 hours, that's 1,000 miles, over a spheretard with a radius of 3959 miles, that's P. It would then have to descend or negotiate 128.3 miles of vertical drop over the course of its journey. Q. Commercial planes do not descend 128.3 miles while traveling at 500 miles for 2 hours. They fly level. Therefore, not Q. Or not Q. Therefore, the Earth is not a spheroid. Therefore, not P. In conclusion, Alice in Wonderland is more tenable than the ball-tart spinning space monkey religion. The prosecution rests. Shout out to Jesse Lee Peterson. Simple. You live in a fairy tale. A fairy tale. The end.
Oh, there's the super chat.
Super chat,
Super
super
chat.
fluid, super
mustache.
booger.
He said super mustache.
Did he? And I missed that one.
It's all good. There's two of them, so that's why I said two different ones, I guess. Highway Hermit sent, "Let God be true and every man a liar," Romans 3:4. And then Tony Whitcomb sent, "They call me Knuckles in work because they think that I drag my knuckles on the floor, but I tell them it's because it's the last thing you see before you're dead."
Okay, I got it. Yeah. I think I got it. That's a good one, Tony. Where you get these, man? And Landers. Thanks for the super chats, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a good one. And Highway Hermit, you're spot on. And in fact, Jesse Lee Peterson brought out on his show to David Shyster after, I don't know, 15, 16 attempts, might have been more, 19 attempts. He said, "Let your yes be yes and your no be no." Profound, don't you think?
Yeah, since Dave said he was Christian, he brought him right to Bible references.
He said he was a true Christian.
Oh, not us Bible bashers?
Oh, yeah, he was like, not like most Bible thumpers.
Yeah, not Bible bashers, Neil. Bible thumpers. Dude.
Oh, whatever, thumper basher. So I'm a basher if I say Jesus shed his blood for you? Sorry.
No, you're totally off topic.
He was better than most Bible bashers, was his self-categorization.
Yes. And then he couldn't define what a Christian was.
Oh, wait, he said he's better? Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Somebody said, "Jesus QE, stop simping on Jesse." I'll tell you what, I really like Jesse. I have to admit. I didn't know the
Really?
man before the other day, but I like the cut of his jib.
This was your first run-in?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Could it be because he's stuck on point and did not let Dave move?
The simplicity of it. Yes.
Yeah, we couldn't tell that you like him. Not at
Yeah,
all.
you couldn't tell that? All right. Is Betty back?
Yep.
How was that
I'm here.
pizza?
Good. I
Good.
had some dessert, so that was good. Yeah,
Not a big dessert guy.
I know. I kind of liked it.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So, is there any questions out there?
Many
Does it have to be a?
Good.
Does it have to be on flat Earth?
That or food.
Or Christianity.
I got a food one. You say you're not a big dessert guy. But what if
I
there
can
was
wa-
a spread of chocolate chip cookies with not that many chocolate chips?
Chocolate chip free chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, my idea.
That's not your idea. That was my idea from years and years ago. I don't eat them for dessert. I may eat a couple for a snack if I get a whiff of them.
Chocolate chip cookies without chocolate chip?
Yeah, that's what I
Yes.
called them.
You ever
Yeah.
have one?
That is like flat earth without flat.
No. and it's not a sugar cookie. Chocolate chip cookie is made a certain way, and you don't have to take all the chocolate chips out, just 90% of them.
Yeah, that takes all the fun and goodie out of it.
Goody? What are you, 3?
The goodies, the goodies. Not the cooties.
Like the cooties. Yeah, you definitely got those.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, you
You know
don't.
that cookies is a Dutch invention.
That was a preemptive strike. He's charging you with what he is guilty of.
Oh, look at that. That comes from the incoherent Hillary Clinton Academy.
You mean the gaslighters?
Go gaslight yourself.
No, I have no money to gaslight.
Adam!
Wake up!
Yes.
Who's winning?
It's 0-0. It's kind of painful. We've had a goal disallowed. It's a little laboured. Some may go as far as languid, but I wouldn't say that much yet.
Is it outside? It's not like in a dome?
No, it's one of the. Some of the German stadiums have got roofs on. I don't think this is one. This is a really enclosed. It might. Yeah, this one has. I don't think the roof's on though at the moment because the pitch is cutting up a bit. Apparently, it was a bit too much moisture. Yeah, 0-0 as we stand.
All right,
England not really threatening. Looking a very average team.
Is this a World Cup?
European.
No,
European.
He's already lost 3-2 tonight. The Austrians.
Austrians play soccer?
Yeah. How can I do that on these mountains?
Soccer, strudel, and fondue. That's what Austrians do.
Okay, where?
Oh, come on, we have fondue too.
All right, put a cork in it, Betty.
Why? Where?
That reminds me of a joke.
Oh my goodness.
No, because it's the European Cup, right? So if I'm an American when I go into the bathroom, and I'm an American when I come out of the bathroom, what am I while I'm in the bathroom?
I know the answer, Neil. But go on, I don't know.
I'm usually right.
A European.
That's an oldie.
It's pretty goodie.
Oh. What's
Shout
up,
out to
refracted?
Refract-
Hold on. Put a cork in it. What's up, refracted curvature? John, how's it going?
It's all right. I thought today would be an easy day for me, but yeah, nothing's ever easy. How
Yeah.
y'all?
So this is the current new ballbuster, refracted curvature. He's on a mission. You had to move because you got a new job and all that stuff, and that's just a nightmare, man.
Is it a move also for different states and stuff, or?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It is a nightmare. It's been a nightmare. But I mean, it's the best thing that's happened to me in a long time, but it's still a nightmare.
Yeah. Go ahead, Betty. Ask him again. I don't think he heard you.
Okay, yes. I said, is it a state move in the sense that you are moving into a different state?
No, it's actually not, but it is still 7.5 hours away.
Wow.
So it's kind of like, yeah.
Wow.
Betty, you could go back and forth in your country about 6 times.
No, that's not true.
How far a drive? 70 miles an hour. How far a drive is it across
I don't
Holland?
do in miles, John.
How many?
Sorry. I said I don't do miles.
Oh, that's right. How many kilometers is it across? Okay, now let's get down to this. How long would it take at 70? No, I can't use miles an hour with you either, can I?
Nope.
On a highway, Let's say you're on a highway that goes east to west across Holland. How long would it take to get from one spot to the other?
I don't know, maybe four and a
Four?
half
Oh,
hours.
really?
If
It would
it's
take
straight
4.
line,
Okay.
it's easier, so, of course. But
Yeah. So I didn't realize it was okay. So 4 hours. So almost twice the distance, and John's still in the
yeah,
same
but
state.
north-south is like longer, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we have like a really long like ending of our country there in Limburg, as we call it.
Yeah. Okay.
The 3-country point.
What's the 3 countries? Holland.
Germany and Belgium.
So Germany touches. So does Germany touch Holland?
Really, John? Come on.
And Luxembourg.
They took our bikes for crying out loud.
They travel countries like we travel states.
Hey,
My
hey,
goodness.
hey, Neil, listen to what you said. Say that again one more time, buddy.
They took our bikes.
So during World War II, the Germans went over to Holland and took all their bikes.
Did you not realise that Holland is just a short goose step away from Germany?
A goose step.
Yeah, John, didn't you know that?
Yeah, I kind of knew that. I just wanted to affirm it with somebody that lives there.
Huh.
I like that though. I like that's the Dutch phrase. They nicked all our bikes. We have an equivalent. It's they bombed all our chip shops.
No, but this isn't a joke, right, Betty?
Oh, they did commandeer all the bikes from people. Yeah.
I'm not joking. They bombed our chip shops.
How is you funded?
I'd rather lose a bike than a chip shop for sure.
Exactly. Whose sufferance was greater, Neil?
People who are dead don't need to travel anymore.
Well, you can't eat with no chip shops.
People
Or you
who
can
remain
walk
need
somewhere to
food.
get something to eat.
They had other jobs.
All right, having a bike, but if you've got no chip shop to go to on the bike, how are you going to feed yourself?
Well, we can't drive to England, so we could care less if there's any chip shops, whatever the heck there is.
Traveling at 112 kilometers per hour, or 112 is what it comes out to at 70 miles per hour. At 112 kilometers per hour, how long would it take you to drive across your country?
I have no idea. To be honest, I'm just
Yeah,
spitballing here.
she would have to do some maths for that, and that's not one of her favorite things to do.
Can you count? Don't count.
The difference in driving in the States, there is not an equivalent miles per time distance. Yeah, you've got just big open land, and you got to go that speed all the time. Even when we get on motorways, they're locked up. There's no point where you're doing 70 miles an hour. Even if at points you're doing 100, yeah, you'll average at about 45.
What about on the Autobahn?
The Autobahn?
Autobahn. Yeah. What about that?
Well, that's in Germany.
Yeah.
But again, it's like the Autobahn's rapid. But when we were travelling back through from Italy to the UK, the Autobahn still gets busy. So do like Italian Autobahns. They're like 4 or 5 roads around the lanes per side, but they're still busy. There's a reason there's 5 lanes. It's like, you know what I mean? So there isn't the big expanses of just the road and no one using it that you guys have.
Right.
Adam, I could go 3 hours doing 80. Not a problem.
You can't do that here.
Gotcha.
So it would be the same as you traveling across Holland as it would be for me to travel south here in Alabama to the ocean.
To the coast.
If I wanted to go if I wanted to go to the beach, it would be 4 or 5 hours.
Betty, she'd be down by Bama Bass.
Wait a second. You're close to the beach, Flatsy?
No, it would take her that
No.
long to get to the beach, Neil. Keep up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Betty, what?
Yeah, what's the best argument against ether? I don't know much about ether.
I got the best one. Here it comes. Ready? What's ether?
Yeah, I don't know. Some mystery substance, I don't know.
Yeah,
Medium.
that's the best argument against something that doesn't exist. That's it.
True.
Yep. Oh, that was the question. You were the one. I was going to get back with you, but I got sidetracked. That was the question.
Yeah, and I was maybe gonna ask something about religion, but you
Religion
food or flat Earth.
Betty.
Yeah.
Hold on, Betty. Are you here? Yep, that's what I thought. She took off.
She said it was.
No,
She was gonna...
no, I'm here. I'm here. Sorry.
There's a religion question coming up. Do you want to take a shot at her?
He wants your opinion, I think.
My opinion on whose opinion do you want?
Why should I be a Christian? That's the question.
Why should there be a question? That's the question.
A Christian, sorry.
No. I'm not
Why
making fun
should
of the
be
way
a
you talk.
Christian? He asked me
Shut
that
up,
question
Neil.
last week. Just telling you because he asked me last week.
Oh, did he? What did he ask you?
Are you?
Why should I be a question?
Know that you're
A Christian.
I'm messing
sorry.
with you, bro. Let me bring up. He asked, why should I be a Christian?
Is that what he
Because
asked?
you get to go to heaven and have eternal life.
Yeah, but why should I believe in that?
Because if you don't, you end up in hell.
Yeah, but why
Betty's-
should I accept the premise?
That's the death cell from Betty.
the dead
Yeah,
cell
I'm
from
not
Betty.
that close.
Right up. I'm sorry I rumpushed.
about-
I'm sorry I rumpushed you, but we had to talk about this for at least 2 minutes. Betty just postulated the death cell immediately.
Hold on. That's not the death cell from Betty. That's scripture.
Uh-oh.
True. But it is kind of harsh the way I say it, of course.
Yeah, it is harsh.
But yeah,
Well, how about this one? If that's too harsh, then you should be a Christian because you submit to the truth.
Yeah, but why is this the truth?
Well,
That
Jesus
is
said he
Christianity.
is the way, the truth,
is
and
to
the life.
submit-
Hold on a second.
no.
Hold on a second. Okay, just wait. We need one person responding to his question, not 6 different people. So who wants to take up the flag?
let Neil do it for this time.
Okay, Neil, you're going to take up the flag. You answer his question. I'm going to go get some cantaloupe.
Ask the question.
Yeah. Why is it the truth? What's the argument for it?
The Bible? Oh, sorry. Neil, what's the truth?
Said he was the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father through him.
Yeah, but can you substantiate this claim?
I'm pretty sure I got it, man. Have a good one. Can I what?
Substantiate this claim with an argument.
I can only go by what it says in Scripture. My only reference is Scripture.
Why should
So,
I
if
accept
you don't believe
scripture?
that the Bible is God, then we can't have a conversation. So really, that's where it ends there.
Dee said it best.
It's objective.
Neil.
Your opinion.
Neil.
I would say that you need to go and have a look at history, yeah, to begin with, if this is the path that you're starting on. If you're saying that I can't believe the scripture, I need to know that it's somehow there's some truth to it. Go and have a look at history. Go and have a look and see if these people really existed, walked the earth, yeah? But I would say the Bible was written over a period of 2,000 years, right? So for a book that can be found with other history books. It was found with some of it was found the Dead Sea Scrolls, etc. Other books that we take as true history. For a book to be a fairy tale that was written over 2,000 years that could completely align itself and back itself from start to finish is not a fairy tale book, yeah? And then we find that all these other religions, most of them are based off of biblical stories. So we know that Buddha was never claimed to be a god himself. It was people that deified him. We know that Islam comes out of Christianity and follows the bondwoman's line from Abraham. So that would be my advice to you.
And I always give personal testimony. I gave him my whole testimony last week or 2 weeks ago. And you can't tell me anything, because when I called out to Jesus, going through every other way to try to get off this substance, I couldn't. And so I opened up the Word of God and began to read. Then I became transformed. So the Bible, it's not just a book, it's alive.
Yes.
You can test it. That's what DD said. He said it very well, because this is something that you can test and prove to yourself. That's what's the beautiful thing about it. So you're not just meant to blindly believe anyways. It's testable.
Right. And some people say, no, that was your willpower. No, the 5 other times I did it was my willpower, and I failed every time. It wasn't until I turned to the Lord, I opened up the Bible and began to read. Then change came.
Nice.
Reading's useful. What I would say though, dude, is instead of asking like QE tonight, Neil last night, and whatever, just ask God every night for a while, and that you'll get much better answers than speaking to any of us lot.
Yeah,
I agree
because
with
God is a
that.
personal God, right? He will always answer you in the way that is most prevalent to you.
Well, how do I know that's not, let's say, placebo or me imagining or make believing it?
Well, if Neil's given his testimony, yeah, that's a personal account that he's witnessed himself. It's very hard to deny that. I mean, I've
Well,
had
it's
those
the
experiences
lowest
as well.
standard of evidence.
I was just giving you an idea. Yeah, that's where I started, because I was never a Christian when I started down this path, and that was where I began looking into history, looking into other things. But I can tell you that I went to church for quite some time with my wife. I wasn't interested. I went for my wife's sake and my family's sake. And one day in that church, I had a very, very crazy experience, yeah, that I just couldn't deny. And yeah, that was how I started on my path. But yeah.
Well, I've heard a lot of similar stories from different cults. I'm no expert on them, but what makes these Christian experiences different?
You ever heard of a guy named Lee Strobel? He's got 2 books out called A Case for the Creator and A Case for Christ. I suggest you read them.
Christ is the only one that claims to be God, yeah? And out of all these other religious texts, Christ is the only one that claims to be God.
And he's the only God. Every other deity, there's no God there. The God of the
Neil,
is the only one.
cease and desist.
Your mic is a train wreck again.
Sorry.
Okay.
It seems that every time you have something really good to say, Neil, that your mic is like out. So sad.
Yeah, it's a certain part of town I'm in. Am I still roboting?
No, now it's less. So if you want
Yeah.
to talk now,
I just
do it
mentioned
now.
2
Or...
books, The Case of Christ, The Case of the Creator. But
Yeah.
I'll shut up.
I mean, no, those are good, but you got to be careful. If you're going to tell them to read books as an answer to a simple question, it's an elephant hurling fallacy.
So QE, what did it for
No,
you?
because I see where he's coming from. And this guy, Lee Strobel, was totally against it. He tried to disprove God, and you know what happened.
I know that name.
Try and have
Yeah,
a
because he heard the
relationship
book.
with God would be my. You don't need to nail down a denomination, dude. Go and talk to your creator. Yeah? He'll lead you.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
agree.
need to have this almanac ready for the relationship with God. The relationship comes through your effort.
Well, I grew up a Christian and such, but I have prayed and such. But it does seem to me like it's my imagination that's speaking back. Like I haven't met God or anything like that. So
You don't
yeah, I
know if
have
it's your
tried.
own heart talk.
Sorry, what?
You don't know if it's your own heart talking to you? Huh?
Yeah, it seems like it's just like my imagination that's speaking
Okay,
back
QE,
to
am
me.
I right by saying this, QE? You have to have faith. I mean, there's got to be a certain amount of faith that you have that when you are talking to the Creator, you are talking to the God that created everything. I mean, you have to have faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God. So there's got to be some sort of faith there that draws you to the Creator. Are you thinking about Him just on your own? He puts it in your heart to seek
I
Him
did.
out.
Oh, okay. Well, I did have faith. Maybe you could say it was forced, maybe, but yeah, I kind of dropped out of that, and also have been captivated by objectivism. So that has a good arguments against existence of God.
What is the good argument for the existence
Give
of
me one.
non-existence?
Well, the primacy of consciousness fallacy. To have a God, the consciousness has primacy as its created existence. So yeah, that fallacy is coined by Ayn Rand.
Who?
There's many more too, like with cause and effect and such.
Who coined that
Um,
that thing? That fallacy?
That's the primacy of consciousness fallacy. It's a common error in philosophy. I'm no expert in philosophy. I'm currently reading and such, learning a lot. But
It says in
yeah,
the
it's
Bible.
common in
So
Platonism and
you're gonna
Kantianism.
you're basically trying to regress yourself and your experience to that of a complicated rock or a mixed
No,
shell color.
no. I'm a flat earther. I'm a flat demonstrable.
Knowing the nature of what we dwell upon is separate to knowing whether or not you are created or just a random event from nothingness.
Hey, your
Yeah,
opinion.
I don't believe in metaphysical randomness or chaos. I don't think that's even possible.
Do you know you outside of any doctrine? Then, do you know you're created? You're special.
Yes, by my mother and father, I was created by them. Or more
In
formed,
no
you
other,
could say.
no other way. That's a very flippant answer to what should be a genuine conversation we're having. But
Am I
assume that
being
was
disingenuous by saying that?
I thought it was German humor, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Hey, your opinion. Hey, I just ask that you stick around to these live streams and just like listen, because it may help some. It helped me a lot.
I love listening to all kinds of opinions and views. I have no issue with that.
Okay. Well, that may be enough in the end if you just stick to it. It may help.
Yeah, just don't assume a lot of things about me. Like, I don't believe in evolution. I don't also believe in creation. I just don't
not?
know. There might be some other theory, someone could come up with.
There's no other
I
theories.
don't have
I'll
time
tell you
just-
what,
There is
sir.
no-
Hold on, Betty. I'll tell you what. I'll give you a link. I was just on my channel. I'm sorry. I was just on my website. It's called globeterminator.com. It has scientific proofs of the creator. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, right down the list. I want you to go ahead and look over this over the next week, and next Tuesday we'll talk about it. Fair?
Yeah, okay, I understand. I'll take a look at it. But the issue is conclusions made in philosophy can't be overwritten by
Don't you worry
science.
about it. I'm not using philosophy.
Yeah, but philosophy is more fundamental than science. If you make scientific conclusions that contradict with true philosophy, then it's
What is true
you've done a
philosophy?
bad interpretation. Or
Well,
something.
really? Well, you're going to have to demonstrate that the next time you come on here. So I want you to go to hold on a second. Are you in BALLBUSTERS text chat?
Not right now, but I can click on it.
So right above the BALLBUSTERS VC that you're in right now, you see hashtag BALLBUSTERS text chat.
Yes, I'm in there.
Hold on a second, Adam. Oh, somebody just put it in there. Divergent Droid was in there before me. Jeez, Divergent Droid. There it is, right there. So you got two. I want you to just go through it. There's not a test or anything. I want you to go through it and just gather some points from it. And then if you have a point, make sure and write it down and say, listen, this is all jacked up. Here's why. Follow?
Cool.
And then next Tuesday,
Superchat.
Super booger, super mustache.
Roger Ledwell sent, he is working here. ...
Okay.
I'll ask. I'll be honest and say I'll probably ask for some help in my Objectivist server to form some arguments before the debate. If that's okay.
I look forward to it.
On the second half's about to start. I need to make this point, right? What you just said, dude, in terms of this competition between science and philosophy is incorrect. Science is a methodology which is the pinnacle of philosophy, to elucidate cause and effect relationship through empiricism. These things are in combination with each other. Philosophy is an integral part to get to the method itself. Us as human beings who reason a way of deciding a cause and effect.
That's the principle of sufficient reason.
To put them in.
Hold on a second, no tanks. 1 second, Adam. Hold on 1 second. Let Adam finish his point, and then no tanks next. Go ahead, Adam.
But to put them in opposition, is nonsensical. They work together, and to claim one whose supremacy of the other, no. Cause and effect and philosophy sit together. The reality is that a cause and effect should maybe adjust your philosophical point if it's proven. You shouldn't be adjusting a cause and effect relationship because of a new perceived philosophy.
If I
perceive philosophy, I mean, you can come to correct philosophy through argumentation and logic.
Yeah, I was just going to comment on the same thing.
Can't out-logic
I'm
God.
all for cause and effect, but that's the fourth law of logic in philosophy, the law of sufficient reason, right? And then I mean the laws of logic have to apply, law of non-contradiction, and then the argument. There's different argumentation for contingent clauses. That's philosophy first. You can only do science because philosophy is sound.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's my point.
here's the important point. I think both of those people were saying. Hold on a second. I think there's an important point that both, if we could summarize what those gentlemen just said, your methods are derived from your philosophy, not the other way around.
Exactly.
Good.
Exactly.
Good.
But I was going to ask, didn't philosophers come up with the scientific method?
Yeah, not.
Yes.
They didn't come up with it, but it's based on philosophy.
It's the pinnacle of the application of a philosophical method to derive a methodology to attribute a cause and effect relationship. Without the philosophy, we wouldn't have come up with the stringency of the scientific method. And part of the philosophy is to encompass empiricism, to ensure, the philosophy is correct and the methodology is adhered to based on the philosophy of the methodology. AI. That sounds like one of your sentences, that. I see you want to go, so
I have to
I'll hand
object
over.
to that.
You know what experiment proved empiricism is true?
Well, that's a nonsense, isn't it?
Well, that's the point, is you have to have established faculties and reason before you can even begin to produce any methodologies of inquiry whatsoever.
Correct.
So it is the
So
case that philosophy is prime over the scientific method. It cannot be otherwise.
If A, then empiricism.
The
I
point is
just
you can't create the scientific method and then retro-engineer logic
That's
and
not what-
reason and
that's not-
philosophy from it.
exactly.
Not what I retorted to. You said, and I retorted with, so if A, then empiricism. We validate empiricism through the experimentation.
How?
I
do you
don't
know it's
know, your
valid?
claim, not mine. I'm just responding
it's
to what you said.
it's your claim
Mine,
that-
it was a raised intonation at the end, as if to say, well, that can't be right.
Well, yeah, it's not right though. But you're giving the impression that
Your words. I'm not giving any impression.
as
I'm
the
questioning
guy
what you
said,
just said.
you can't even begin to do science without established philosophy. So science is downriver.
What you said. Stop changing what you said and what I responded to. Come on, England's just kicked off. I don't need this.
I don't know. I'll take it easy on Adam today. I know he's not up to par, so we'll let him slide.
Super mustache, super booger.
Roger Ledwell sent. That was from Shut Up Neil Productions.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Yeah, Adam
like
doesn't
words to me.
Adam doesn't have all his faculties going at this time. It's his attention is elsewhere.
Yeah,
Without the faculties of the mind in existence and faith in the faculties of the mind, it's pointless to even think about anything. It's a fool's errand at that point.
And QE,
By the way,
did you write that that page on the website about with the science? It's really good.
Who said? I'm sorry, I was looking at something else. Go ahead. Who?
Yeah, just wondering what is the name of the fallacy that you named? Something with elephant.
Oh, if you state something in an argument like go here or go there, go to the library, go to the newscaster, go somewhere else for you to gather the information for their proof, that's an elephant hurling fallacy.
Elephant
Yeah, but I
hurling.
didn't
Okay, thank
commit
you.
that. I suggested that he read a couple of books because that's where his mind was at.
Okay. All right, fair enough. There's a fine line there if you're talking with somebody, casually, it's not a fallacy. But if you're in, like argumentation and you do that, then it's definitely fallacious.
I'll agree with that.
Too long, didn't read.
That was not argumentation. That was advice, Neil. Didn't.
Correct.
Yep.
All right, Betty, TLDR, right?
Yeah.
That's another inside joke that we've had, but we're not going to talk about that right now.
I saw that on many posts, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I have too. Yeah.
And you with your Trojan worm or something.
Oh, what she's talking, not that specifically. So back in the day when I was with texting evotards, there was a lot of debates, but they were more texting debates. And I would get the feeling that they weren't reading my posts. So in the post, I would bury a Trojan horse. I would say, so just off the cuff things, that you have intimate relations with midgets. It just in the body of some text, and they'd come back and they wouldn't bring it up, and I say, so you have intimate relationship with midgets because you didn't object.
That's a good one.
Yep. So they never
How many
read.
people did you catch out there?
They never read my my rebuttals. They, you know how people do that. They
And
don't.
then it came the short acronym, like didn't too long, didn't read.
Yeah, the TLDRs. That's pretty funny. But in the context you used it in the other night was hilarious. You tried to use it, but I used it. You didn't quite get it.
Oh my God, you're better at anything.
Not better than everything, but you were trying. I knew where you were
Anything.
headed, but you didn't state TLDR.
I didn't execute well. Okay.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, but I knew where you meant. It's good. I still laughed.
Yeah.
It was truly
But
hilarious.
isn't that the problem? Most of the people, they're just looking to talk instead of reading.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
responding.
Yes, like what happened today. Yes.
What happened today? Gee,
Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah, you're drawing a blank now. Do I?
Let me go ahead and interrupt and tell you something completely non sequitur to that.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Or was mine non sequitur? Hey, why?
No, that's what I was pointing out. What happened today? Never mind. I was trying to make a joke of it.
That's fine.
I tried to make a joke of it. It was bad timing, you know.
That's fine.
The timing of a joke is very important.
Yes, it is. Timing.
Yeah.
Timing is everything.
Yep. But then
Okay.
again, the Bible proves itself, right? Doesn't it? I mean, sometimes you need to look into the stories in the Bible to basically understand what it's saying, because there's much sort of behind those stories, like the story of Adam and Eve, for example, and why sin happened and that sort of stuff, right? And there's basically two reasons why people reject God, right? They think that they are their own God, and they think that they don't need God. So it starts with the seduction, like Eve was seduced in the garden, that she could be like God, and that she didn't need God. So that's the first seduction. And then the second is to blame God. Is the second one. Is like, okay, God, that woman that you gave me, she's the one that made me do this, right? So blaming God is the second one, to not wanna have a relationship with God or believe that He is there. And
Yep.
every
Yeah, but the lady didn't say
goes
that.
down
The
to
man
that.
said that.
Hey, Neil,
Oh,
you're gonna have to cease and desist because your mic is a train wreck. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, and you're referencing me.
Yes.
My point. It's kind of nice if there's sort of like a silence at the end of someone's statement,
Yeah, there
because
is.
this is deep psychological. The Bible is a psychological book, anyways. It gives you many answers to psychological, deep psyche, inner like intentions of people. And the Adam and Eve story is so compact; it has so many stuff in it, and it's very important. If you want to, if you are into like psychology, explore that one.
Yes.
Can I make
my
a
mic working?
Yeah.
Can I make a the booger?
Say it, Mama.
Say it, Mama.
From Uncle Ben, what does it say?
Then he sent Super Booger.
That's right.
And what I'm not even there. What does he say? Super booger.
Nice.
Sorry, Betty. It was a serious point. I'm sorry about that. I would like to go off topic just for a moment, too, and say that AI, your name is so long that it juts out into my friggin' slideshows. Can you shorten that up a bit, sir?
All right, I can acquiesce.
Yes, acquiesce.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
It's the top of the heap. Okay, sorry, Betty. Your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, that's something that I've noticed, and then I came into certain discussions with people, and they said, "Well, that's not true," and then they came up with something, and I said, "Well, basically, if you boil it down to this, you're just denying God, or you're blaming God, because most of the times people come up with, if there is a God, how can he let all these bad things happen? Right? That's blaming God. Because where's your own responsibility for things?
You don't have a responsibility for everything. Some
Yeah.
things is out of your control.
True. But to say that there's a God to blame for all the things that happen in this world is basically pointing out that God is to blame for everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're
Well,
making that argument, you're saying that God is real by implication. So I wouldn't make that argument.
See, Betty, you have to establish his existence first before you could go to where you're going.
Not necessarily.
Well, that's what his objection is.
well, whether God exists or not wouldn't stop people from blaming him, because if he exists, then there are people who blame him. If he doesn't exist, there are people who blame him.
Both there him if he
However,
doesn't exist.
The thing is
however,
that
I figured out how to fix Genesis with one phrase. If you'll indulge me. All right, here's how it goes. Solves everything. Hey God, that thing you gave me is broken. Can you give me a new one?
yeah, so
Yeah, but the woman did not blame God. The man did.
exactly.
No, the point was when he realized what she did, he should have said, "Oh well, you're screwed," right? Why join her?
Because of love.
Well, I mean, to your point, Betty, though, I mean, everybody knows that God exists, even the ones who deny that God exists. But to your point, in regards to, people say, well, then why do bad things happen? I would just say, thank God that you can ask the question, like, why did this happen? Because, again, that goes back to what Adam was saying, and then the law of logic of sufficient reason. Thank God you can find out why something happened, and you can fix it, or you can't go in the past, but you can fix it in the future, in the present, and towards the future. So thank God.
Yeah.
There's
Hold
a
on a
reason.
second. Hold on a second. There was a question asked to Betty, and Betty was. I heard her answer, but it got rumpus. Could you answer the question, Betty? Why did Adam do that? Why did Adam follow her? Tell him, Betty.
Because he loved her, right? He loved his flesh.
Oh God, just
I did that for you, Joe.
I know you did, and God, just stinker. Just prosecution rest with the first part of your answer. Say it again.
Yeah. Yeah. So he loved this woman, right? So yeah, he didn't want to part with her because he said he sees flesh of my flesh and bones of my bones. So he loved her.
All right, now that that's been said, I got a joke. If you're ready for it.
Uh-oh.
So how do you know that Christianity is the one true religion? All right, the answer is because it's the only version of heaven where there's no women.
Oh God, are you a Jesse Peterson?
I wonder why Paul was upset.
You think that the woman is the?
I don't like that comment.
The devil.
First of all,
you guys could feel free
Yeah.
to psychologically deal with the impact of that joke, or just laugh because it actually is funny. That's your choice.
Not funny though.
Neil's taking umbrage. Neil's taking
It is
umbrage
funny,
with.
Neil.
Neil's
Neil, every other religion, in heaven you have males and females. Even sometimes marriages, you have sexual relationships. You have all the trappings of fallen humanity in heaven, right?
Yeah.
Why is humanity fallen?
What?
Sin.
What do you
find out?
It's those two questions: denying God and putting the blame on him.
Yeah, I mean, rather, what's the evidence that man is fallen? I mean, there are many good things
Entropy.
that man has made too.
Dude, you can have 5 good things and 1 drop of poison, right? And the 1 drop of poison erases all the good things, does it not? Yeah. So, for example, if I eat a health food shake, and I put in a drop of lethal poison, I'm dead.
Yeah, I
Doesn't
don't see
matter how
that.
much. Doesn't matter how much healthy things are in the shake, does it?
Yeah, in that
When
case, but I think that's
something's
disanalogous.
corrupted,
I don't
something's
see
corrupted.
analogy.
All the
Hey,
functional parts.
AI, AI, you're gonna have to let him respond, brother. Okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
I just don't see the. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Respond.
I just don't see the analogy there. So yeah, so since like that's a specific example of a health drink, like if you, yeah, that's just it. Sorry.
Yeah, perfect. So if I poison the food supply in total, okay, the food supply still maintains its vitamins, minerals, fiber, protein content. However, it's deadly. It's forever altered to be deadly, right? So it's corrupted. Regardless of how many good things are in it, it still has enough bad things that cause it to be a net bad.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I see your point, but I still don't see the analogy really because if a human does a crime, that can't like it doesn't affect everyone
Oh yes, it
all
does.
equally negative. If you see
No,
what I
yeah,
mean.
well, see, I know something about every human being in this room, whether they admit it or not, and they'll know that I'm correct when I say this, is that every single one of us, including you that I'm speaking to, has done something that you yourself judge as being immoral, eyes wide open willingly. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I agree. But I think we can improve and we can live a very, very moral and ethical life.
Oh yeah. There
If we
you go.
choose to.
Now you
We have
said it.
free
Now
will.
you said basically you don't need God because you're the one that has the better moral.
But look, that's fine. Look, that is fine, and you may be correct. But the implications of the cosmic scale of the moral paradigm is not simply about can I do more good deeds than bad deeds. It's about how do I answer for the morality. Now, if you say I remove the necessity to answer for my morality, then you're satisfied within yourself. But if it's the case that there is a moral arbiter that cannot be thwarted, then that means you have to answer to him.
Okay, there's no moral arbiter. It's logic. It's everything that's life affirming. Is ethical. And then you also have law, which is sort of different.
By what
But
standards?
yeah,
How do you think they came up with the law?
no, law is also objective, but that's the
That's great. So
non-aggression principle.
why is logic the hierarchy upon which you base morality? For what reason?
If morality is not based in reason, but rather irrationality, how can that be a good ethic?
Okay, is it irrational to put yourself at a disservice for the benefit of somebody else?
Yes, that's altruism. Unless you
Okay,
will
so
gain something.
you just said altruism is illogical. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
Okay,
I don't
so
mean
is altruism a moral good? Yes or no?
it's a moral evil.
Oh,
It's
so
what
being
it's
good to other people, being good to
No.
other people when it costs you something is evil. That's your claim. I would submit
Well,
to you that your
not
worldview is
necessarily.
retarded.
If it only involves self-sacrifice, I'd say that's immoral.
Yeah, fair
But
enough.
if
So
you
I will submit to you that your moral compass is bankrupt, your worldview is incoherent and retarded on its face. And I dismiss it out of hand for being stupid and retarded.
I mean, I'm able to change my mind. What's your argument for this? You're just making a claim right now.
My argument is that I know for a fact that to sacrifice oneself for the good of another, especially, for example, your children or your spouse, is a moral good. And anyone who tells me it's an evil is retarded. Stone
It glitched
cold
out. Sorry.
facts, man.
It glitched out on my side. Sorry about that.
Okay, dude, okay. We have a mother in the room, and you're basically telling this mother that her self-sacrifice for her child is evil. Okay, that's
No,
just
no,
its face retarded.
I'm not saying that. You get psychological profit from helping helping and loving someone and such.
That's
I
great. Well,
think
then why not 30 seconds ago when you were asked, you categorized it as evil?
yeah, if it's only self-sacrifice, if you're gaining nothing from it, if you're not even standing on principles, like not even gaining any
No,
psychological.
dude. Fair enough. But I clearly said for the good of another.
Yeah, I mean, if it's only for good of another, I don't see that's a good thing. If
So you're telling a
bad
mother
person.
that she should love her child for her own self-interested gratification rather than for the love of the child. Now, I'm going to ask the mother in this room. Does that sound like good moral thinking there, mothers? Or
No, I would
fathers, for
say
that matter?
no. I would say
Well,
that my self-sacrifice for my child would be the best thing that I could ever do. If that was something that I could do, it would be the best thing that I'd ever do in my life.
yeah, well, I would submit to you, Flatsy, that's because you are a noble person, and this man speaking to us is a self-interested, selfish person. That's what I'd say.
That's
Well, it's
an
not just
adequate
mothers, yeah. It's fathers as well, yeah. I sacrifice every day for my wife. I sacrifice every day for my 4 children. And it's just what we
Okay,
do.
well, yeah, Betty.
Well, I'm not so quick to I'm not so quick to dismiss him because he seems
Ma'am.
like he's not like grandstanding on this notion.
I know,
I
but
think that
the point is,
I'm not going to dismiss him though.
well, you don't dismiss him as a human. You just dismiss his worldview.
Yes, poor
I mean,
foundation.
she clearly demonstrates that she loves to or really wants to care for this child, and she feels happy in that, and that's very good, very moral thing to do, and that creates a strong
Why?
family
Why?
relationship and all that.
Why?
So
Hello,
why?
Why is that?
Why?
Why is that so moral? Because in some countries they kill kids, right? So why is it so good? What is the
I
foundation that you stand on that killing babies is either good or bad?
okay, murder
Your
is
morals or
is
the next ones or the dictator at the time? Who's more? What's your foundation?
my foundation in ethics is everything that's life affirming. My foundation in law is
Why?
everything that's
Why do you care?
non-aggressive.
Why is that?
Why I care? I want to know the truth. I want to
Okay, so
know
if
what's
if you
real.
believe in a creation and not in evolution, there is a creator with
I
creator
don't believe in
background
either.
and
I'm free to not have a position on that, but I can
that's
I can
cow.
also reject both.
Isn't that a
Can
little
we
bit
try a
cow?
different tack?
Hold on. Let Betty speak. Let's
I mean,
go.
this is the sort of the presuppositional like approach, but you have no
Default position.
foundation to stand on. You
Yeah,
cannot
I
appeal
do.
when you are in a country where it's okay and there's a law passed that every baby before the age of 3 has to be killed. Suppose that would
Yeah,
happen,
that's
which has
an
happened in the past. Wait a
objectively
minute, let me
legal
talk.
law.
Let me
Like,
talk.
Your
I didn't
opinion.
even
Your
say
hold
anything
on a
yet.
second, Betty.
sorry.
This conversation, you're going to have to let her finish. Now, guys in the conversation, try to be concise, and then the next person talks, please. Thank you. Betty, go ahead.
So when that law is passed, then it's law by men, right? So we basically follow the majority or the highest screamer or the one that has the power, but there is no really foundation that you have that you can stand on that it is okay to either not kill or kill babies.
Okay, I'll explain
No,
the
wait a minute.
justification.
Just one last thing before I forget to say. So the thing that I said about Adam and Eve, with like blaming God and believing that you're your own God, that you don't need God, that's that thing. You are making your own rules. You're making your own God in yourself up by saying, okay, my morals are this, so that's the state. That's the way it should be. But that's not the way it should be, according to other people.
I don't believe in subjectivism. I derive my morals and also law from logic, and also yes, I reject positive law as
Why is it
in.
logic? Why is it not
Okay, yeah,
logical?
I'll give you the
in a way?
justification. It's argumentation ethics, forward by Hans Hermann Hoppe, a good law philosopher. So basically, you can't ever justify an aggression. By an aggression, I mean initiation of conflict over scarce means. Because argumentation presupposes non-aggression. If you try to just try to justify something by saying that you have done an aggression, and that's been proven, you're in a contradiction because you're peacefully arguing non-aggressively, rather.
If you don't mind me
why
asking,
I'm
what is
saying-
it that grounds the immaterial laws of logic in your worldview, and why ought you follow those? What is it that grounds it, and why do you think you ought to?
Well,
abide by it?
argumentation. I was about to explain it, but yeah, I mean, I kind of have explained it, but there's more to it too. Like if you're inquiring.
Well, why do you so you're saying if it's logical, then what? I don't really know what you're saying. If it's logical, something, but what in your worldview grounds the immaterial laws of logic?
What grounds them?
Yeah, what are they?
I'm not sure that's a meaningful question. Like you're using logic right now to convey this to me.
Yeah, I understand you.
introducing
I understand you have to use logic. Yeah, like you can't avoid the God world. I'm saying, why are you using the immaterial laws of logic? Yeah, I mean, yeah, but why you're presupposing the laws of logic are
Yes,
true?
we are, because we are
without any
arguing.
grounding.
If you're rejecting logic, then we can't have a conversation.
He's not rejecting logic. You have to listen to his question. State it again. No thanks. He's not rejecting it. Listen to his question carefully. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm asking you, how do you ground the laws of logic? Real simple, like where do they come from? And why are you saying we ought to follow the laws of logic?
Okay, so if we didn't follow the laws of logic, we couldn't have a discussion or an argument at all. That would be a simple argument against that.
That's part one. So without the immaterial laws of logic, we couldn't make sense of any world. And now where do you say the immaterial laws of logic come from?
Why should they come from anywhere? That's a meaningless question.
Well, if you can't ground it, then you can't justify it, and then you'll be using it arbitrarily.
If I have to ground something, you know what you need to use to ground something? Logic.
Yeah, how do you ground the law of identity? What secures the law of identity throughout time? How do you ground the laws of logic?
It's an axiom. It's an axiom. You can't deny it.
Right. So you cannot deny. Fill in the blank.
Yeah, you cannot deny the laws of logic. That's it. No more to it.
Apparently,
Yeah, you have to presuppose God to deny God. Yeah. So why don't you
What
accept
does that
the
have to
God that
do-
you
what does that
presuppose
have
to
to do
argue
with
against God?
I'm sorry. What does that have to do with God?
God created the laws of logic.
I mean,
Based on how do you know?
I'm asking you, why do you presuppose God just to use the laws of logic?
I'm not presupposing
that
God.
require. Why do you do that? Yeah, you're saying, well, it's just an axiom. It just is. It's just a brute fact without any context.
Yes, because
brute
if
facts do
you
not
try to
exist without
deny
any
it, you'll
context.
be in a contradiction.
Pardon me. Pardon me. I'm lost. What is the question? Why should I be Christian, or is there a God? Which is the question? Because at this point, it seems like nobody's talking to each other.
Question is, how do you assert any moral ought whatsoever? So, for example, he earlier said you're not supposed to be aggressive to anybody else, but why? He's just assuming it as his base axiom for his worldview, but he's not justifying why it's wrong for me to commit violence against another person or aggression in any manner. For example, if my child is starving and I decide to steal food from homeboy A to feed my child because it self-gratifies me, which he says is a moral good in his worldview, he needs to justify all those oughts. So go ahead, friend.
Yeah. the justification is argumentation. If you're trying to argue the opposite, you'd be in a contradiction. If you're trying to argue that aggressions are justified through
Where's the
non-aggressive,
contradiction?
yeah, you're presupposing the norms of non-aggression by not initiating a conflict over his body
I'm
or
not doing that at
himself.
all. I'm not doing that at all. I told you a perfectly reasonable
You
way.
say it's an argument. If I like stole something from you, or like if I like hold a gun up to you, is that a real argument? Am I really truth seeking there?
What? Okay, listen, let's pay attention real close here and see if you can follow along. My kid's starving. I could care less about truth. The only truth I care about is I need food to feed him. So I'm going to take it from you by force, by aggression. You're weaker than me. My kid needs it. It will serve my self-gratification to know that my kid is fed, and you are inconsequential. So now tell me how anything I just did to you is wrong. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're an ethical parasite. That's anti-life.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So you have no answer whatsoever. No answer whatsoever. Good job.
What was that? Hold on a second. This is the first time I heard this in my life. An ethical parasite. Is that what you said?
I like that.
I like it. Good job. Continue, please.
Yeah, but he then said I'm anti-life. But you see, the problem is that you're thinking that life has an equal value, which you have yet to prove. I'm just saying that my child is of greater value to me than you, so I'm going to commit aggression against you to save my child by stealing your food and beating you down if necessary to take it from you.
Two things
Now,
there. Two things.
Please tell me how anything I just did was wrong.
Two things there. Like aggression, first of all. You couldn't ever justify your aggression without contradicting yourself.
I did
without
justify it.
contradicting yourself.
Okay, I'm going to make it
how do
clear.
you-
I'm going to ask you again very specifically. Where is the contradiction? Now, speak to that question, please. Nothing else.
Yeah, if you are in court, you'd be in a contradiction.
I don't
if
care
you
about
were-
court. I don't care about court, dude. We are talking about my child is starving and I'm taking your food, whether you like it or not, by force. That's what we're talking about here.
Explain
Now I'm
why
going
it's,
to use violence. I'm going to use violence, and I'm going to use aggression to take that food from you because it's going with me one way or the other, and it's going in my kid's stomach. Now,
How do
I
you
want you to
establish truth?
see- I want you to see how what I'm doing is wrong. Go ahead.
How do you establish truth?
No,
Okay, listen, friend. I'm taking your food. I don't care about your argument. I'm taking your food. Now, why am I wrong?
Yeah, then you're just an animal. You're just an animal in that case. You're a brute animal. You're irrational, and I can kill
now,
you.
right? So if it was that
Whoa,
easy,
whoa. Hold on. Don't let that pass. He just said he can kill me.
Yes, if you can't
He
reason after you've done
thinks that it's justified to kill me if I want to do violence against him to feed my kid. And so me in the act of feeding my kid makes it warranted for him to commit aggression against me. So where's the contradiction in my view that I asked you to give me 3 times now? Go ahead.
You committed the prior aggression, and therefore I have the right to self-defense. I may or may not have the best justification for
Correct.
that yet.
Okay, self-defense. Fair enough. Okay, so I'm defending my child from dying by taking your food. Now, I want you to answer me very specifically, okay? Why is taking your food by force wrong?
Because it's my property. That's not yours.
Why should I respect or care about your property?
Because you'd be immoral.
Why is it immoral? You're just going into a tautological circle now.
I suppose.
There's no I suppose about it, dude. You have to find a way to ground these things rather than just appealing to a foregone conclusion.
Yes.
Why is it wrong, dude, for me to take your stuff by force? Why is it wrong for me to take your stuff by force to feed my child? Which we already agree that feeding my child is something the child needs and something I want to give them. And to satisfy my need to give it to them, I'm going to exercise aggression against you since you have the food. Okay. Why is that wrong?
Yes, the reason is wrong is because you cannot justify it. You cannot ever justify it. That's the
Yeah, I
issue.
can justify it. Watch, it's very simple. My child needs the food. Justified. Easy. Easy. See how easy I did that?
What if you
No,
ask
no,
for it
no.
instead of stealing?
Consequentialism is not an argument in a real court or in an argument or
Hey, guess
argument.
what?
I mean.
Guess what, dude? The court isn't going to come to your aid while I'm taking the food from you and beating you down with a stick. You see, that doesn't work that way. So why is it wrong for me to do that?
Yeah, like in an argument, you're presupposing the norms of non-aggression, so you can't justify it.
No, I'm
You can
not.
justify
I'm not
something is through an
presupposing those
argumentation.
norms at all, dude. Stop imposing upon me your presuppositions. Okay, listen. I gave you the hierarchical tier of why I'm going to act the way I'm going to act, okay? My child needs food. He's hungry. I want to give him food. It serves the child interest and my interest to give him food. I'm going to take it from where it is. You have it. You don't want to give it to me. I'm going to take it by force, okay? There you go. So why is it wrong? Go ahead.
Yeah, the thing is, humans are a rational animal. So we establish proof either through thinking or through argumentation.
Yeah, so why don't you tell me, well, go ahead and tell me why it's more rational for me to value you over my child's needs to the point where I limit aggression. Go ahead, please.
Not that you value me necessarily, but value not being a moral parasite.
Hey, guess what? Guess what? Guess what? The less moral I am or the more moral I am isn't going to fill his belly. You see the problem? I have a logistical problem on my hands. The kid needs food. And I'm going to use any means necessary to get the kid food. Now, I want you to tell me why I should exclude some means over others. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I suppose we're going in a circle because
Hey, the only
my
person going in a circle here is you because you can't tell me why it's wrong.
You just won't answer it, man. He's giving you plenty of things to answer. Just answer the question.
yeah, the answer is that he can't justify it.
He did
No,
repeatedly.
I did
Stop going in a
justify
circle.
it. I did justify it.
The only way to justify something, listen, the only way to justify something is through an argumentation. There's no other way to justify something.
Yeah,
Look
watch
up-
this. Watch this argument. Watch this argument, dude. Watch this argument. My child needs the food. Therefore, I'm going to get him the food by any means necessary. Here's the argument.
Yeah, that's an argument, right? So in an argument, you're in a real argument where you're truth seeking. That's a real argument.
Answer the question.
You're presupposing the norms of non-aggression to have
Okay, what truth am I seeking? No, to pay attention. What truth am I seeking from my point of view? What truth? Because I am seeking a truth, but
that's the
what
point
truth
of an
am I
argument.
seeking?
If it's truth seeking, you're not arguing.
What
Then you're-
truth am I seeking? Please tell me. If you don't know the answer, I'll tell you.
If you're not truth seeking, you're an ideological salesman, and that's not an argument.
Hey, what truth in the situation that I offered am I seeking? Because I am seeking one, but what truth is it that I'm seeking? Do you know the answer? If not, I'll tell you.
It's seeking a falsehood, I suppose. You're seeking to win something.
No. Okay, since you're clearly clueless, I'll give you the truth I'm seeking. The truth I am seeking is that my child's no longer hungry. That's the only truth I care about. Now, please tell me why I should care about any other truth but that. Go ahead and tell me, please.
Well, principles. That's the only thing.
Principles don't fill bellies, friend. Now, why are principles a greater categorical necessity to serve than my child's needs? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, because humans are rational animals, and
Listen, dude, you can either give a reason or you can say it's not immoral to do exactly that.
No, I have to admit
I'm very
that I'm
rational,
not,
friend. I'm
well,
very rational. Watch my rationale. I'll give you my rationale, okay? My child is hungry. He needs food. Therefore, I'm going to get him food. There's the rationale, dude. That's very rational.
Yeah, but you're trying to justify an aggression in that case, and
No, dude. You're trying. I don't need to listen, friend. You're missing something. I don't need to justify it.
Yeah. Who
You're
gives you the
telling
moral
me I
right,
need
right?
to.
No, you
I
don't
don't
need
need
to
to.
justify it, but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. What you need to. I mean, yeah, like
No, no,
that's.
friend. The only thing I need to do is to feed my child. So please tell me why I
Sure.
need to justify giving my child food. Please go ahead.
Well, isn't the justification the full belly? Right? That is your justification. Why is he continuing to argue
Yeah,
this?
but that's a false justification because you're in a contradiction by arguing that
No, no, okay,
because
perfect.
presupposing the
Now I'm
norms
going
of
to ask you this for the fifth time. I'm going to
by
ask you this for the fifth time. Where's the contradiction?
the contradiction is in you presupposing the norms of non-aggression by arguing.
No, I'm not.
And
I'm
saying-
not
and I-
presupposing any norms, dude.
I wasn't finished, dude. I wasn't finished. I was saying, but you arguing, you're presupposing norms of non-aggression, and
How?
in the
How?
the content of what you're saying is that our this aggression is okay, which is a contradiction. So aggression is okay and not
No,
okay.
no, no. I
That's
did.
not a
Listen, I didn't.
justification, that's
I
a
didn't
logical
say.
contradiction.
Listen, friend, you're so mistaken. It's unbelievable. I never said it
It's
was okay.
implied.
No,
It's
pay attention.
implied by you
Pay
saying
attention.
it's
Pay
Hey,
attention.
stop,
Pay attention.
stop, stop,
So what your
stop,
justification
stop, stop. Do not overtalk each other. Make your point
I agree.
quickly, AI, for the 28th time, real quick. And then I want to hear a full rebuttal from you are. So make it quick. AI first. Go.
Absolutely. So my child needs food. I'm going to give him food. I am going to execute violence and aggression against the person I'm going to take the food from. I never attempted to justify it whatsoever. I simply said, this is what I'm going to do. I then told you, show me where I'm wrong. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're never going to justify it, it's different, sort of, but it's still wrong because the only way to come to truth is through argumentation. So you have to argue you have to find what's true in this case, and that's where you have to argue. And when you're arguing, you're presupposing the norms of non-aggression, and the content of what you're saying implies that aggression is okay. Which is a contradiction. There's a performative contradiction specifically between what you're saying and what you're doing, arguing in this case. So this, and in justification, it has to be logical. If it's not logical, it's a bad justification. It's false. So
All right.
therefore,
All right.
you're wrong.
Be concise.
Objectively.
I'm sorry. Be concise. Did you understand that, AI?
Yeah, I understand that he told me I'm presupposing non-aggression when I told him I'm presupposing aggression. So I'm not presupposing non-aggression at all. I asked him 3 times about that and 5 times about telling me why I'm wrong. He didn't provide an argument why I'm explicitly wrong, and he told me what I'm presupposing, which I'm not. So he is incoherent and can be dismissed without even going any further. I dismiss you, sir. You're nonsense. Bye.
And with that, now go ahead. Final thoughts.
Yeah, that's the point. There is no foundation for the guy with the logic, right? Yeah, people use many kinds of logic. Also, dictators use many kinds of logic.
No, dude.
Right?
There's only one logic. If there are multiple logic, that would be contradictory.
Stop.
That's
There's different
just
types of logic, but that's okay. Betty, finish
Yeah,
your
but
point.
the things that these people reason from different angles. Let me say it that way then. Where like a dictator says, I need power, right? Not the food for the child, but I need power and my means justify everything, right? So you have no rights and no foundation to stand on except for your own sort of conscience that you feel that is being basically given by God to you to ascertain what's good and what's bad. And that's what we try to point you at, is that once this world is going to be engulfed in like big tribulations, there's going to be havoc and people will do whatever they're going to do. And you will scream and will cry out to God to help you out and to have like a universal justice happen. And that's the atonement of blood. There you go.
All right, I just want to say one thing on the logic thing. Yes, there are multiple
like you have modal logic, you have temporal logic, and all that. That's fine. But if you have logic that contradicts basic axioms, let's say they are they are denying the law of excluded middle, that cannot be true at the same time as another type of logic, and it's also false. You can't have something true between true and false. So that's nonsensical.
The assumption that logic is applicable to reality is being demonstrated before my very eyes. Every bit of logic would suggest England, with the best players in the world, should be battering a second-rate team like Slovenia. My arse is being bored off in this 0-0 draw. Yeah, logic does not reflect reality.
Exactly.
What's contradictory in reality? What's illogical about reality?
Adam, give him the logic of a rock.
I'm too busy
a rock is a rock.
Getting confused by the illogical nature of reality in front of me.
A rock is not a rock.
Yeah, logic has nothing to do with it. So, hold up. I think Booger's going on vacation because we had super chat.
Booger. You say it? Super chat? There you go. Roger Ledwell sent, truth stands on its own, period.
Nice note to get rid of this chat.
To round out on, it's been very interesting discussion, but we're going to go ahead and round out. I'll take control. So thanks for the guests today on QE Live. Like I said, be on the lookout. Should be Thursday-ish for a treatment. It's going to be on evolutionary biologist, and stay tuned for BALLBUSTERS. Yes, we're doing 2 in a row. BALLBUSTERS, and it's going to be evaluating Professor Dave, Professor Cream of Wheat, versus the True Earther, the Boy Zero Sky Grifter on Saturday. So, thanks for attending. Appreciate it. Also, thank you to somebody sent me a message that there has been a donation from Jonathan Walliser. Man, my eyes are getting bad, or the print's just too small. Jonathan Walliser, I appreciate it, sir. Thank you very much. So I hope this was helpful to everyone. We covered a lot of different topics today, and we'll catch you on the flip side. QE out.